with a low near 23 degrees. For tomorrow, plenty of sunshine throughout the day and a high near 41. In Baker City tonight, partly cloudy skies too, low near 21 degrees. And for tomorrow, mostly sunny conditions with a high near 40. This weather forecast is brought to you by
Grand Ronde Hospital. As one of Union County's largest private employers, we proudly support our local economy with stable family wage jobs.
Grand Ronde Hospital.
I'm here to tell you how to hack McDonald's $1, $2, $3 menu. All you gotta do is order 2 sausage McMuffin, 2 McChicken, or 2 McDouble sandwiches. You'll get them both for just $3. You can even mix them up. There's even a way to hack the hack. It's adding any size McCafe brewed coffee or soft drink for $1. Lots of people have tried this, and it totally works.
McDonald's new Choose 2 for $3 on the $1, $2, $3 menu. It's no hack, just an awesome deal. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with combo meal. Single item at regular price.
Hey sports fans, this is Ronald Bond, sports editor at the LeGrand Observer, reminding you to tune in every Wednesday at 5:35 p.m. It's the local sports report on the Johnny Ballgame Show with Observer sports editor Ronald Bond. We dig into EOU and high school sports, football, basketball, baseball, wrestling, track. You name it, we cover it. Wednesdays, 5:35 p.m. on the Johnny Ballgame Show. You don't want to miss it.
Johnny Ballgame Show.
Welcome to Super Week 2019, Chuckleheads. The Super Bowl now officially upon us this week. We always turn things into high gear come Super Week, and obviously really excited you guys are with us. We're going to have good guests all week. Guests with Super Bowl experience is my goal every day this show this week. Some guest who's either played or coached or covered a Super Bowl throughout the 52 previous Super Bowls we've had with this great league. We're going to have reps on this program every day this week, and always a lot of fun. Super Week will continue. We'll get to our guest today briefly in a bit. You are listening to what we hope is your favorite sports talk radio program in Eastern Oregon. The Johnny Ballgame Show. We're brought to you by Bench Warmers Pub and Grill, where I must give a little bit of shout out. I think a little bit of an applause is in due order. I'll tell you, I've heard nothing but good things over Cornhole Bowl yesterday at Benchwarmers Pub and Grill, the annual cornhole tournament right before Super Bowl week, and it was a sellout. It was a mega success, and I'll tell you, right down the hallway from me, good old Shane on Mornings on the Rock on our sister station, him and his partner Austin Young, you little son of a gun, they took home the doubles championship yesterday. So again, big congrats, we got champions. I got a champion just down the hallway from me, and also my boy Shane over there at 98.7 The Rock. Show me your wits in the morning. Mega popular for everything he does. He won the individual tournament as well. So a couple of trophies from my man Shane. Congratulations to him. But furthermore, just everybody who played in that thing. The Pro Bowl party I heard was a mega success down there at Benchwarmers yesterday. And hopefully the first cornhole tournament there of many to come. I know they had some back in the summer. Maybe they get another one going around March Madness. I'll talk to my boy Justin Marler, who manages Benchwarmers Pub and Grill, to get that going. But appreciate everybody down there and the continued support my Chuckleheads have for Benchwarmers Pub and Grill. Check out their to-go menu Monday through Sunday. You can order, especially for your Super Bowl party coming up this week. I get it. Most folks, it's like Thanksgiving. You watch the Super Bowl from home, or you go to a friend or family member's home and you have a Super Bowl party. Again, like I said, kind of like Thanksgiving. What I do every year, whatever party I'm going to, I call in my wing order at Benchwarmers, pick it up on my way to the party. So I'm not showing up empty-handed, and I'm showing up with the best wings you can find in Eastern Oregon at Benchwarmers Pub and Grill. So go ahead and do that. And I've heard from people who worked there the past years, they say they get a huge order of wings phone orders for wings every Super Bowl Sunday. So remember, be a little bit ahead of the game this year and get those wings at Benchwarmers for your Super Bowl party. So yeah, I'm pumped. You can tell a little bit of, I don't know, just a skip to the step so far in radio today on this show. Just excited for Super Week. All the coverage, wall to wall, all the great guests. We'll start today helping us kick off Super Bowl week. I bring this guy on a year. I mean, once a year. On a good year, maybe twice per year. He's terrific radio. Love bringing him on the Farmers Insurance Hotline. He was the starting tight end for the 1985 Chicago Bears. Maybe the most widely recognized team, honestly, single season in the history of the NFL. You say 85 Bears and everybody knows what you're talking about. He's the starting tight end for the 85 Bears. He was an All-American at UCLA. He was a second-round draft pick, I believe, there in Chicago. His name's Tim Wrightman, and he's coming on the show, hour number 2, and he always delivers. He was a longtime actor after his football career wrapped up. He's been in really cheesy shows like Sybil, like Silk Stockings, like Chuck Norris, Walker, Texas Ranger. He played the role of a strip bar manager in an episode of Walker, Texas Ranger, and he got into a fight with Chuck Norris in that episode. And let me just say, it didn't work out too well for Tim Wrightman. Chuck Norris had his number. Maybe I'll ask Tim today if in real life that happened, if he'd fare a little bit better than his portrayal of the classic strip club manager on Walker, Texas Ranger. So he's a great get. So we're excited to have him to help us kick off Super Week. It is a Monday, so that means buy or sell. Rock & Sons Tire and Auto. Get your buy or sells into me. You can email or text me. I'll open up the Farmers Insurance Hotline, 541-963-4122, wherever you want to go today. Just loaded with some good topics. Big news in the NBA. Honestly, and this is kind of a pendulum swing in the NBA. This is going to move the meter. That's in regards to the future of New Orleans Pelican franchise player Anthony Davis. Big news in the NBA there. I think GM LeBron working with Magic Johnson, trying to pull a couple of strings and get AD to LA before Boston can get its hands on the perennial All-Pro Anthony Davis. Now, Boston, we'll talk about this a little later, but the Celtics can't trade for Anthony Davis until this summer. There's a trade clause in somehow. I don't know the language of what it actually means, but Boston not available to offer a trade until this summer. Now, the Lakers can offer a trade 2 hours ago. So I think this is LeBron's in. Let's get to him before Boston can. So we'll see what happens with that. But mega news around the NBA. Still not done with some stuff going on from the Superdome a week or so ago with the referees. I'm trying to bury that story, but gosh, that story just stinking won't die. It's like a Michael Jackson Thriller video or something. It just keeps on going. The 4 referees and whatnot's going on, where they're from and whatnot. Talking about that a little bit too. The Pro Bowl ratings. You know, I love playing the ratings game for the Pro Bowl because I just get a kick of comparing how well the Pro Bowl does compared to much more relevant sports that don't get the television rating that the Pro Bowl gets. That's the only thing I like playing the Pro Bowl TV ratings game. It just cracks me up that, you know, more people will watch the Pro Bowl than the Eastern Conference Finals. More people will watch the Pro Bowl than the American League Divisional Series. And we're talking a baseball playoff game in October. No, more people tune in to watch the worst exhibition of pro football you can find. Yes, the Pro Bowl. Yesterday, a big rainstorm for the Pro Bowl. Not sure you even tuned into it. It was Circus McGurkus at times. I mean, they were playing Alvin Kamara at defensive end. Did you see that? Kamara was rushing the passer. They let Saquon Barkley rush the passer as well. Could you even imagine if there was an injury on that in some way, shape, or form? Now, you think Sean Payton wants to watch the Pro Bowl and see his guy, possible franchise guy there, and Alvin Kamara playing defense in the Pro Bowl? And if something were to happen there, Lord have mercy on your football soul on that. But that's what we were watching last night. Circus McGurkus in the Pro Bowl. And yeah, a lot of you were watching. You were. I know you're going to be the cool guy. I don't watch that. But a lot of people, most sports fans, let me just say this, most sports fans, certainly most football fans, do it sometime or another, at least tune in to see what the hell's going on with the Pro Bowl. Your Valley Concrete Pumping top story on a Monday. Let's have some fun. Figured I will open with the Super Bowl this week. Obviously, Super Bowl 53, Patriots, Rams, both teams arriving in the ATL yesterday. I don't know if it's tonight or if it's tomorrow. They do that big Super Bowl spectacular. They used to just call it Media Day. It was way cooler before it turned into the Circus McGurkis event that it is right now, where it's like called Super Bowl Monday night or whatever the heck they call it. It's basically what Media Day has always been, but now they sell tickets to it. They commercialize it. They market it. You know how the NFL is with what it does, and they turn it into some cheeseball TV show. I'll tell you this. I'll hit the nerd button for you. Nerds! I used to skip school for Super Bowl Media Day. And this is when Super Bowl Media Day was only covered by ESPN News and the NFL Network. And it was during the day, Tuesday before the Super Bowl. I remember when I was in college and the Seahawks were in the Super Bowl, I did not go to class that day, and I just stayed home and watched Media Day. And I loved it. And that was when I thought Media Day was good. It was pure. It was so much better than what it is now, which is, you'll see it tonight. It's just a big Circus McGurkis act. I'll just keep it there before I say anything I shouldn't. But I think that's tonight or tomorrow. But it used to be way better. And there's no build-up necessary for this one. I mean, you have the coach who's twice the age of the other, two big geniuses, so they say, in the sport. I think the quarterbacks, there's a lot of parallels there. What the Rams have done on offense this year, what the Patriots have just done for the last 2 decades. I love yesterday, before the Patriots boarded their plane, they're still playing the underdog card. Nobody thought we could get here. Everybody was against us. We're still here. We're still here. Tom Brady. Yeah, duh. Of course you're still here. You're the Patriots, dude. You're here every year. Of course you're still here. That's not, the problem isn't, oh my gosh, you're still here. Actually, yeah, it is. Sorry, but we're looking at it differently than you. That is still the problem. Yes, you're still here. Get out. Make like a tree. Move on. Give us someone else. That's where the majority of football fans are. I'm not saying the Rams are a super likable team. I don't think there's a lot of hatred surrounding them at all. I know Saints fans are probably still a little begrudging to root for their NFC brethren. I know here in the Northwest, this is not a Super Bowl for the Northwest sports fan, for the Seahawk-loving Pacific Northwest sports fan. You get the Rams, who are in your division, NFC West, and the Patriots, who certainly stole something from you. You felt a self-inflicted wound, don't get me wrong, a few years back, and we're not going to revisit that. But yeah, not a great Super Bowl for the Pacific Northwesterner. But no, I love how the Patriots still play. Hey, nobody thought we would be here. No, stop. Everybody thought you would be here. That's what bugs them. That's why they hate you. I mean, it's a complimentary hate. It's one of those deals like, yeah, hate me. I'm the pretty girl. Sorry. I'm prettier than you. Hate me for it? Great. Fine. Be you. That's a you thing. You worry about you. I'm prettier than you. I won't worry about you. I don't have to worry about you. I'm prettier than you. That's kind of where it is with the Patriots. They shouldn't worry, but I guess fuel to the fire, use whatever you can for moss, kindles, big, large piece of wood, whatever's going to keep that fire burning. And obviously it's been burning now, 20 years. And that's their fuel, the fact that everybody does hate them. And yeah, they do. 31 fan bases are rooting for the Rams, who, like I said, aren't even the most likable team in the league. The Rams, look, if this was Saints, Patriots, I can't even tell you how many Saints fans they would have over the course of this week. Because they'd be the Drew Brees sentimental appreciation type of thing. Oh, kidding me? If this was Saints Pats? I mean, don't get me wrong. 31 fan bases are rooting for the Patriots. Maybe 30.5, because I don't exactly know where the Seahawks are on this. I mean, maybe some Seahawks fans, and you let me know if you're one. I I mean, are you rooting for the Rams? I guess because they're in your division. It bumps the prestige of the NFC West. Are you rooting for the Patriots because you'd like to see the Rams lose? You don't want a team in your division winning at all? You don't want to give them that confidence, that drive, that off season? I don't know. Sometimes a Super Bowl hangover is a pretty tough thing to shake. But no question for me, 31 fan bases are going to be rooting for the Rams this week. And if it was the Saints in this game, like a lot of people think it could be, should be, whatever, we're kind of moving on from there. But, man, it'd be even not just, it can't be more than 31 teams. It'd be more fans rooting for the Saints. But, no, whatever works for the Patriots, right? Whether it's a religion, whether it's, like prayer, whatever you do to get you through your day and make your life more tolerable and get things done, then I guess that's what you're going to do. Whether people disagree or not, and that's kind of what the Patriots do. They still play the underdog role. Tom Brady still plays, hey, 6th-round pick, number 199. You know why that was? Because Tom Brady deserved to be a 6th-round pick. He deserved to be picked 199. He didn't slip in the draft. This wasn't a deal where people are like, oh my gosh, Tom Brady's still on the board? What's going on out there? It wasn't that at all. Tom Brady was a pretty good quarterback in college for that, for those considerations. For that level, he was good. He was pretty good, He was a borderline NFL guy. Great, good for him. But the whole underdog thing, first of all, Brady did go to Michigan, okay? Tell me how many high school quarterbacks, again, that get to go to Michigan on a full athletic scholarship are underdogs. I mean, Aaron Rodgers was fighting it out at a JUCO. Alex Smith was going to a junior college. Big Ben was in the MAC. Russell Wilson was told by NC State, we don't want you anymore. And those are some nice underdog stories as well. Certainly, I'm not saying Brady's not a dog. He was 6th round. But he was 6th round, rightfully so. I mean, he went to Michigan out of high school. That means you're pretty good, right? You get to go to Michigan on a full ride, not even a walk-on, not even a preferred walk-on, not a JC transfer. He didn't grad tran. No, he got a full athletic scholarship out of high school, Sarah High School of the Bay Area, to go to Michigan. That's pretty good. Ballgame show, Benchwarmers Pub and Grill. I'm pumped, though. Super week. I'm ready for it. 85 Bears tight end Tim Wrightman coming on the show today. He's got a couple of events he wants to talk about too. He owns, maybe some of you guys have heard of this, Tim Wrightman, our guest today, 85 Bears, a longtime NFL tight end in the 80s there. He owns the Lazy Bear Ranch. It's in Weiser, Idaho. It's a pheasant hunting ranch. Basically what he offers is you and your buddies, you get together, you go, you pay for the ranch. He goes out and takes you hunting. So you get to go out and hunt with a former member of the 85 Bears. He's got the Super Bowl ring. He's got the Walter Payton stories up the yin-yang. And you go out there, he hunts, you have fun with him, you go back, you cook, you eat a big feast, and you stay overnight. It's kind of a B&B thing, and you leave the next day. I mean, if that's not something that would be awesome for like a bachelor party or just like a dude getaway or a father-son trip or whatever, I don't know what would be, especially in this climate. Northeastern Oregon, a lot of us like to get out there and hunt. We like to fish. Certainly on the hunting side, remember that. The Lazy Bear Ranch, awesome deal that this guy offers. You want to talk like a cool present? That's a cool present. Getting somebody a chance to go hunting with an ex-NFL football player who can tell you Jim McMahon, Walter Payton, Mike Ditka, Fridge Perry stories all day. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So he's here, hour number 2. We're absolutely pumped to have him. Let's get on over to some NBA. But first, your Valley Concrete Pumping top story. Appreciate all that they do for this show for so long that they've done it. The Valley Concrete Pumping top story. My boy Lee Atkinson, I know he was busy snowmobiling all weekend, does a terrific job with that, and he's back to work hard today, and it's a gorgeous day out, so I'm sure he had a couple of concrete pours today. Make the next one from you at Valley Concrete Pumping. We'll be back.
Hi, I'm JD Stanley with Dream Builders Contracting. I'm a local guy. I'm a family man. I'm proudly from Eastern Oregon, and I know how local businesses operate. I understand that buying local and supporting local businesses is why and how so many of you, like me, are able to live out our dreams in this wonderful community. That's also why I ask you, when you're ready for your next construction project, to call me, JD Stanley, with Dream Builders Contracting. Call 541-910-4207.
Hi, this is Kate from Blue Mountain Barbers on Adams Avenue. We're an old-fashioned barbershop with a fresh touch. We always have more than one chair available, so you never have to wait very long. We love our customers and take pride in being the premier barbershop in town. We also love our sports. We have a sweet TV setup, so the game is always on. Blue Mountain Barbers on Adams Avenue. Haircuts, shaves, beard trims, head shaves, product sales. You name it, we have it. When it's time for your next haircut, come to Blue Mountain Barbers. We won't mess it up. Go Beavs!
GRH Regional Medical Clinic welcomes Dr. Frank Shumsky, a family practice physician relocating from Pendleton. With the past 15 years as an independent practitioner, Dr. Shumsky is a strong believer in community involvement. He has given his time serving as a medical trainer for rugby teams, Boy Scouts, and the Pendleton Roundup. Please help us welcome Dr. Shumsky and his family to this side of the blues.
Grand Ron Hospital, big city medicine with a hometown touch.
The current Northeast Oregon road conditions are as follows. On I-84, there are no road closures to report at this time. Clear roads are being reported in the Meacham and Cabbage Hill area, as well as the Ladd Canyon and Baker City areas, too. There is a minimum chain restriction in effect, though. You are required to carry chains or traction tires regardless of current conditions. For more road condition updates, stay tuned throughout the day or visit tripcheck.com.
Appreciate everybody. Ball game show, Bench Warmers Pub and Grill, Super Week Monday. Pumping you up for the biggest game of the year all week long. Be involved, dude. Hit me up on the Goss Motors inbox. That's johnnyballgameshow@gmail.com. I'll do my best to make sure all emails received will be read today. johnnyballgameshow@gmail.com. And while you're swinging in there, duder, the GMC Sierra, was that Truck of the Year 2019 they're announcing, and Goss Motors has them right now on display in their wonderful Goss Motors showroom. So pop on in, see Kyle, Tage, Sherman, Mark, the whole stinking crew. Amber there does a terrific job at reception, and they just do what they do at Goss Motors, and they continue to kill it year in, year out. So go to gossmotors.com. Coming up on almost 100 years now. No one's been pushing vehicles like Goss Motors has over this last 100 years. They do a terrific job, and hopefully when you're ready for your next purchase or consideration, you will buy or consider MJ Goss Motors downtown LeGrand. Okay, so we woke up with this. On Super Bowl week, not Patriots arrive in Atlanta, Rams arrive, or injury reports and all this good stuff. What's the schedule this week? And I believe the big media event is tonight, by the way. But we woke up with another bit of news. And the NBA, I'll tell you this. The NBA off-the-court drama and scenarios and what-ifs and, oh, my gosh, another Woj bomb. I'll tell you, Adrian Wojnarowski, ESPN, their big NBA guy, for whatever reason, people love talking to him. He looks like Dwight Schrute from The Stinking Office, but he has, as they call in the journalism business, the scoop on just about everything NBA. Anyway, we woke up with another stinking Woj bomb today. Anthony Davis, all NBA forward center, leads the league in blocks every year. He's damn near dropping 30 a night. He has informed the team that he will not sign a contract extension this summer. And he will let his contract expire next summer, and he will take his talents to another NBA team. Now, the reason, why is he saying this, ball game? Well, it's simple. He doesn't want to stay in New Orleans. He doesn't want to be a Pelican till 2020. He wants to get out, and he wants to get out like right now. The NBA trade deadline is in what? Less than a week? 8 days? A little more than a week? NBA trade deadline is like right around the corner. Anthony Davis wants to play in a playoff series this year. Anthony Davis maybe wants to advance past the early stages of round 2 this year. And Anthony Davis wants to play when it matters. I always talk about that in the NBA. NBA's fun. It's good. We follow the Blazers. You can catch them right here on this very station. But if you're not playing in May, if you're not playing around Memorial Day weekend or even lucky enough to be playing into late June, you just don't register for most folks. You just don't. I mean, I can go into Walmart right now and ask them about Alex English and tell me how great Alex English was with those Doug Moe Nuggets teams in the 1980s where he was dropping 27 points a night. No one's going to know who he is. It doesn't matter. He wasn't going far in the playoffs. If it wasn't for the dunk contest, Dominique Wilkins would have that. You know, Alex English is Dominique, who unfortunately couldn't dunk like the human highlight film. You know, Dominique's known for being... Dominique is a star. He's a Hall of Famer, not just for the numbers he put up, but for the moments that he was on the national stage, how he shined. You know, the game versus Bird, Game 7, conference semifinals, 1988, one of the classic playoff Game 7s of all time, Neek versus Bird. And then, obviously, the dunk contests. Let's not act like those weren't important when we were growing up. I know it looks kind of childish and stupid now, but when we were growing up, if you're a Generation Xer and you grew up in the 80s and 90s, the dunk contests were a mega big deal. It was bigger than any regular season game, the dunk contest. As stupid as that sounds, that's how it was back then. Anthony Davis is kind of living in that world in today's NBA era. Most folks don't really know much about him as a pro. He played 1 year of college, won the title, Cal's only title at Kentucky, where he was the best player in the sport that year, and it wasn't even a close second, Anthony Davis. And he's just kind of, you know, just sitting there in New Orleans. And look, let me just get out on the record on this. Yeah, the NBA, Anthony Davis, essentially telling you either trade him or get nothing for him in 2020. And we'll talk about where he's going to go. You can chime in on that too. I mean, obviously, he signed with Clutch Sports. I mean, that's the sports agency owned by LeBron James. So, yeah, we all saw the writing on the wall here, and I'm totally okay with that. I want to see Anthony Davis playing Memorial Day weekend. I want to see Anthony Davis playing earlier on Cinco de Mayo. I want when the NBA playoffs really kick in, and I'm going home after this show every night, turning my TV on, watching NBA playoffs for about 2 months in a row. You go from about mid-April to about mid-June. That's when the NBA is the NBA. It's not on Christmas Day. It's not on January 28th. The NBA, it's like March Madness for college basketball. You own a month, and that's fine. That's what you do. That's your place in the American sports landscape, college basketball. You own March, and it's bitchin', and everybody loves it. Well, the NBA owns April, May, and June. You know, NFL draft gets in the way, obviously, mega. But you know what? No, that's the NBA time. Baseball's just beginning its season. That's when the NBA playoffs are rolling. And I want to see Anthony Davis play for a team, whether it's the Lakers or the Celtics or whatever other team can put together a package to bring him to a winner. I want to see that. I mean, I've talked about this for years. Like, you know, it started with Kevin Durant. You know, he left not for more money. When he bolted Oklahoma City, it wasn't a financial thing. He wanted to win, man. He wanted to be in the finals every year. He wanted to win back-to-back finals MVP like he has. He wanted to better his situation around him, not necessarily individually. Like, isn't that cool? I thought that was. I thought everybody told me that forever. Like, oh, man, these guys nowadays, Johnny, nobody cares about winning. All they care about is getting paid, and they care about their stats. Kevin Durant didn't, and we crush Durant for that. We crush him for going from Oklahoma City to Golden State. We kill him for it, man. All he wanted to do was win. He's tired of farting around with Westbrook, losing in the first or second round. Doesn't want to do that anymore. I don't have a problem with it. Like, would I join a radio station? Maybe I don't get the time slot I want, but I'm going to say WFAN in New York, WEEI in Boston, ESPN Seattle, what is it, KNBR in San Francisco. Would I want to work for one of those companies where, I'm going to be on one of the most successful sports radio stations in the country? Yeah, I might get, midday. I might get overnight. I probably won't get the morning drive. I won't get the slot I have here, obviously, in little old Oregon, afternoon drive. I won't get those slots there, but I'll be with one of the great sports radio stations on the planet. That would be very enticing, I would think. That's what Anthony Davis wants. And I'll be honest, New Orleans, the Pelicans, that you've had him for 7 years, man. That's a long time in sports. Staying with one team for 7 years. You've been to the playoffs twice. You played in a total of 13 playoff games. I don't blame him for being willing to take less money to go to a place where he's going to count. He's going to have relevance. Don't blame him at all. I do the same thing. Try to make the money up somewhere else because he can sign a super max extension with New Orleans. To get the super max, you got to be a first team All-NBA player, I believe it is. Maybe you can get there being a second-team All-NBA, something like that. All-Stars. If you have all these accolades, you can make more money if you're going to stay where you are. So Anthony Davis could be making close to $50 million a year staying in New Orleans. He'll go somewhere else and he'll make $30 million a year. Like, it's a big difference, I think. Isn't that what we want? Isn't that cool? He wants to go to a good team? Well, Michael Jordan never had to. It was a different landscape then. Free agency certainly wasn't what it is now. And Michael didn't have to put the franchise hostage. And reading and studying on Michael the way I have, he absolutely would have. Okay? If Horace Grant and Scottie Pippen, if they didn't work out and Phil Jackson maybe never would have got the gig there, Michael would have been such a petulant little pea-ant. Trust me on this. He would have demanded a trade too. I fully believe he would. Luckily, he didn't have to. He was in Chicago, mega market. And they traded for Scottie Pippen, who ended up being a dream teamer, an all-timer. And they drafted Horace Grant, who was a multiple all-star. And they had good pieces around him with guys like John Paxson. They had good bench players. Guys like Craig Hodges, Steve Kerr on multiple dynasties. Bill Cartwright, I know he's a little awkward and goofy. He was a very successful center. Bill Cartwright made all-star games. Look it up. Charles Oakley made all-star games. Michael played with good players. That's a myth if you don't think he did. Anthony Davis, Drew Holiday's terrific. I love him. New Orleans isn't a basketball hotbed. The owner of that team, Tom Benson, passed away recently. His wife is now running things, and I don't know. Sell that team, Mrs. Benson. Let's move him to the Pacific Northwest right now. I would love that. But no, this is what's going on, and I don't blame Anthony Davis at all for this. I blame New Orleans. Look, you had 7 years to build around a franchise player. 7 years to do this, and it wasn't able to happen. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I can't. We can't just fix the whole thing for you. I mean, personal responsibility does come into this thing a little bit. You had 7 years with him. I don't blame the player after 7 years of saying, hey, trade me now. And I don't blame the player of saying, hey, trade me now. You know what this does? He's going to get booed tonight at home or whenever it is he plays again at home. He's going to get booed. And I don't care who you are or what you do. I don't think anybody likes to be booed at their home crowd. Honestly, road's one thing. That's fine. Reggie Miller, guys like that, stinking loved getting booed on the road. They fueled them. Are you kidding me? But Reggie Miller didn't want to be booed in Indiana. When Reggie Miller had an off night and the hometown Pacer fans were booing Reggie Miller, oh, he hated it. I doubt that happened much, but he wouldn't have liked it. Anthony Davis isn't going to get booed now. And what he's doing is kind of hooking the organization up on the way out. Hey, get what you can for me. Trade me. I'm just telling you, I won't be around past 2020. So whoever trades for me now gets me for a year and a half. It's a fairly long time in the NBA. And you have a year and a half to sell him. To sell him the way OKC sold Paul George. To sell him the way Toronto hopes it's selling Kawhi Leonard. You get more time than that. Those teams only had a year to sell those players on it. You'll have a year and a half with Anthony Davis. You know, I read a John Canzano article today in the Oregonian, OregonLive.com, saying Blazers, hey, don't half-step on this. You know, New Orleans is going to trade Anthony Davis. Get in on this. Figure something out. It doesn't hurt to reach out and touch someone and pick up the phone. Figure it out. See what the deal is. See if there's anything you can work out. Maybe even being a partner on a 3-team deal, if it means that you can dump one of your cheesehead contracts. Be a part of a 3-team deal if you can. Maybe there's a team out there that will take Evan Turner with a year and a half left. Maybe there's a team that will take Mo Harkless with a year and a half left on his deal. Or Chief. Or dare I even think Myers Leonard. Doesn't hurt to at least ask. Even again, what Wayne Gretzky say? You're going to miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Okay? You are not going to get to go out on the date with the person you want ever if you don't ask them. It's never going to happen. They aren't going to ask you, dude. You're a geek with video games and cats, and you're a loser. They're not going to ask you out. You're going to have to ask them out. And you're not going to ever get to go on a date if you're not going to ask anybody out. They're not going to ask you, dude. That's not going to happen. So I don't blame Anthony Davis for doing this. He wants to play on a relevant team. He's given the Pelicans damn near a decade. Hasn't worked out. This is exactly what LeBron did too. He gave the Cavaliers 7 years. That's 2 full contracts just about. I don't blame Anthony Davis for doing this. We'll see where he's going to go. Now, what do I think's going on? Well, I think general manager LeBron James, there at the LA Lakers, I think he sees the writing on the wall. I think he says, look, Boston can give New Orleans way more than we can. But Boston can't make an offer until after the season. There's a trade restriction blocking Boston from doing a trade with the Pelicans. Look into it. It's a weird deal, just NBA language. But there is no language there in regards to the Lakers. So if I'm LeBron and Magic, obviously, Pelinka, they know what they're doing with the Lakers. They're saying, okay, we need to get Anthony Davis right now because this summer, Boston's going to have a much better package than us. And let's be honest, do the Pelicans really want to do the Lakers a whole lot of favors? Hell no. I think it's going to be tough to get Anthony Davis to the Lakers because I don't think the Pelicans are going to want to trade him. I think they're going to be ticked off at the Lakers, and they should be. I mean, it's almost collusion, you could argue. I mean, honestly, LeBron's founding sports agency signs Anthony Davis over the summer. LeBron can technically talk to him. LeBron's not technically his agent, but he owns the biz. So it's like it's not necessarily any type of tampering if, hey, Anthony Davis, LeBron's guys work for him. So they want to manipulate him to the Lakers. Gosh, does Anthony Davis want to go to the Lakers? I would think absolutely no question. Hopefully for his sake, LeBron gets healthy again, fully healthy, and becomes LeBron again. He's in his 16th year. I'm a little worried that we're never going to see the LeBron that we've all seen moving forward. I'm a little nervous there. Hopefully that's not the case. MJ Goss Motors, where it's always the case. You're down there, you're in the showroom, you're walking the lot on a gorgeous Eastern Oregon January day like this, and you're deciding on your next purchase, and Goss Motors gets that. They understand. They've been in this game a long time. They want to make the vehicle purchasing process as easy as possible, and look, that's their goal, and I think they do a good job of that. So make sure, again, you're looking for that next vehicle. There's some killer Chevy, Buick, GMCs right now, new and pre-owned vehicles at MJ Goss Motors. So hopefully you're tuned into the Ballgame show, and that's where you're going to go. Support the businesses that support this show. I want to get back to the NFL. I'm not going to lie, I was listening to some Fox Sports radio last night, and it kind of tipped me off on a topic that I wanted to talk about. And that's the Alex Smith situation. Doesn't look like he's going to play in 2019. And it makes me think like, okay, we are in the era of the mega guaranteed quarterback contract. Kirk Cousins, what was that, $84 million? All guaranteed. Aaron Rodgers signs this historical deal where what percentage is guaranteed? 80, 85, 90% of that deal is fully guaranteed. Well, Alex Smith got a huge guaranteed piece of the pie as well. And I don't know if he's ever going to take a snap again. That makes me think, like, gosh, are we really in the NFL going to throw all this guaranteed money out when you look at a nasty injury? And I know it's few and far between, but they do happen in the league. And Washington's down whatever creek without many paddle action right now. This is going to be a tough deal. I want to get to that, the Alex Smith contract and what's next, for Washington there in our nation's capital playing football. Ballgame show, Benchwarmers Pub and Grill. We're doing it today, Super Bowl week. Can't wait.
It's time now for your local weather forecast. In LeGrand tonight, partly cloudy skies with a low near 23 degrees. For tomorrow, plenty of sunshine throughout the day and a high near 41. In Baker City tonight, partly cloudy skies too, low near 21 degrees. And for tomorrow, mostly sunny conditions with a high near 40. This weather forecast is brought to you by
Self-Service Furniture Warehouse. They have mattresses, huge king-size mattresses starting at just $5.99 with adjustable bases and pillow top options for the ultimate comfort. Great prices, selection, and variety. Shop at Self-Service Furniture Warehouse, east end of Adams in LeGrand.
Hey, it's winter, which means you can sit around and wait for spring or get a new Toyota 4 or all-wheel drive and get out and go. No matter if it's skiing, tubing, breaking out the snowmobiles, a great road trip, or just a drive across town, with a Toyota 4 or all-wheel drive, it's sure to be easier. Add the fact that nearly every Toyota model now features Toyota Safety Sense, a complete suite of driver-assisted technology at no extra cost. Choose the all-new 2019 RAV4, a Toyota Highlander, 4Runner, Sequoia, Land Cruiser, Sienna van, or Tacoma and Tundra trucks, all with limited time savings options, including as much as $3,500 in cash back, financing as low as 0%, or special low payment leases. It's time to get out and go. Your adventure starts at your local Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. All financing and approved credit through Toyota Financial Services. All vehicles subject to prior sale. All prices plus tax and title. Dealer doc fees vary by dealer. For more details, call 1-888-21-TOYOTA. Offers end 2419.
It's time for Mountain Valley Fitness and Health's newest challenge.
The Iron Sharpens Iron Slim and Stick Special Buddy Edition Challenge. Team up with your pal and get fit.
For $60, you get 1 training session per week, 2 lifestyle coaching sessions, and a guided workout plan.
The winners get a chance at a cash prize. Sign up now and toughen yourself up with your buddies, because only iron can sharpen iron.
Call 541-663-0462 or come see us at Mountain Valley on Cove Avenue in LeGrand.
I'm Bree Troutman with American Family Insurance. Are you currently renting your home or apartment? If so, are your possessions protected? They should be. At American Family Insurance, we offer extremely low rates when it comes to renter's insurance. You'd be surprised how affordable renter's insurance policies are and how quick getting a quote can be. Come see Bev or myself at 109 Depot Street in downtown LeGrand. Make sure your dreams are protected.
American Family Insurance.
Johnny Ballgame Show, Benchwarmers Pub and Grill. Make sure, look, new garage doors, new garage door openers this time of year. It's where you get them installed at LIII Enterprises. They sell and install. You'll see their vehicles all throughout the lovely Grand Ronde Valley. Big enough for the big job, small enough to care. They also do windows, doors, awnings, signs, banners. They'll put a mean logo on a vehicle for you over there at LIII. Last year, just in typical Alex Smith fashion, he had Washington contending, going into, mid-November into December. Heck, they almost made the playoffs with stinking Josh Johnson at the helm there late. There's no telling what would have happened possibly if Alex Smith would have kept the gig, but he had a horrific injury. Like, honestly, I'd rather if you put me in a room and forced me to watch, like, the nasty injuries of all time, I would probably rather suffer through watching the Joe Theismann leg break than the Alex Smith, what the hell was that exactly? Was that the ankle? Was that the fibula? Was it both? That Alex Smith injury was flat out disgusting. Like, some injuries in sports make you want to puke because you're just not used to seeing bones, like watching them actually break in half. And that's what happened to Alex Smith last year. But right around Thanksgiving, around that time, it was in mid-November or whatever, and he's not going to play next year, dude. That story's flying around right now, and it makes me think, like, in the era of the guaranteed quarterback money. I mean, heck, I'm a Seahawks fan, okay? You know, rumor has it that Russell Wilson, they're going to work on their extension this summer. You know, next year is Russell's final year of his new big deal. Hard to believe how quick those 4 years have been. But Russell needs a new contract for 2020. You know how much money guaranteed Russell's going to want? Kidding me? With the times he gets sacked and the pressure he's under. Hell, he got sacked 4 times in the stinking Pro Bowl yesterday. I'm yelling at Jason Garrett on my screen. 4 sacks in the Pro Bowl. You don't think he's going to want 85% of that guaranteed? Of course he is, and he'll get it. But it leads me to think, like, you know what? If you give that quarterback that mega contract and you guarantee a huge portion of it, just know that if there is a career-threatening injury, which Alex Smith certainly had last year, dude, you're screwed, man. You can't, there's a salary cap here. You can't just swallow that and spend it somewhere else. You can't do that. Now, the easy thing is when I ask you, well, what do the Redskins do with Alex Smith next year? Well, cut him, Johnny. You know what happens if they cut him? That's a $52 million cap hit. $52 million if they just cut him. Alex Smith signed a 4-year, like, $85 million deal with like $54 million of it guaranteed. Plus, if you really look at the contract, it's basically $72 million over 3 years. That's basically the contract. The final year of the deal is a lot less. And if, I don't know how you don't keep him on the roster. You're going to have to pay him anyway. So it looks like he's going to be PUP listed all of next year. Now, you might get a little bit of cap relief back if he's on the PUP list, but it's not anything crazy. So it looks like if you just keep him on the roster, he has a cap number of $20 million next year, okay? Alex Smith, you're going to pay him $20 million not to even put shoulder pads on. But if you look at the cap, that always grows. And by the way, Washington has like $15 million to spend. They don't have, it's a Daniel Snyder team. The Skins never have money to spend. They're always poor with their money management. Always. I mean, I thought Nick Foles would be a great spot in Washington. They need him. They got some veterans there. Nick Foles with Washington. Jay Gruden's trying to keep his gig. I don't like any of the quarterbacks this year anyway. Even if you do and you take one, you take the Duke kid, still bring in a Foles. I mean, Alex Smith's never going to play for you anymore. It looks like that's the case. Because think about this. If Alex Smith, and the writing's on the wall with this, Alex Smith's going to miss all of next year, a lot of people are saying. So if that's the case, you really think they're going to bring him back at 36, 37 years old in 2020, and that's going to be the plan moving forward? Alex Smith at 36, 37, coming off that type of injury? Probably not. That's probably when they do cut him, about 2020, 2021. One of those years where they've given him most of the money, and then all of a sudden they're not completely strapped anymore. But you're going to have to pay Alex Smith in 2019, and you're going to probably have to pay him a good portion to go away in 2020 as well. It's a sad deal, and it straps you. I mean, they still haven't finished paying him his bonus, so they can't cut him, okay? I mean, like I said, it would be a $52 million dead cap hit if they just cut him today. They're not going to do that, okay? They want to be able to, I mean, $52 million? I mean, if they just keep him on the roster, of that $52 million, 32 of it they can use to spend on other players and stuff. So they're not going to cut him. He's just going to be in street clothes every game next year. And again, hey, be careful giving this mega guaranteed money for these quarterbacks, because if they do get hurt, you can't just call the next man up, or you can't just say, oh, free agency, let's go grab a Nick Foles or something. It makes it much more difficult to get that done. And we're in the era right now, yes, quarterbacks want guaranteed money, and I don't blame them. And they're getting it. Look at all the guaranteed money now thrown around. Kirk Cousins got 100% guaranteed at an $84 million deal for, 3 years? I mean, how many playoff games is Kirk Cousins going to win with the Vikings? Let's be honest. What's the over-under? I'll set it at 1.5. How many playoff games does Kirk Cousins win in the next 2 years if the line is 1.5? I'm going under, dude. I might give him 1. But then again, I might say, you know what, over the next 2 years, I don't know if the Vikings will make the playoffs. That's not given in this league. They didn't make it this year, and everybody thought they would. And you gave him 100% of the money in that contract, guaranteed. If he gets hurt, he is still owed that, and you can't just go pick up a guy who's high-priced. You're going to play the backup who's not. And good luck winning that way. And that's what Washington is under now. I don't know what the hell the Redskins are going to do next year. Tank for Tua Tagovailoa? I mean, yeah, Miami Dolphins, you might have somebody helping you tank. Play Josh Johnson the whole year? I don't know, draft some yahoo, play him, sign Nate Peterman, play him so you're poor? I don't know what the Redskins do next year. I don't like anything about that team. They don't have a lot of money to spend, and Alex Smith looks like he's gone the whole year. I think you're tanking. Looks like it. But yeah, when you give, and they gave Alex Smith darn near $70 million guaranteed money for 3 years. $70 million, pretty much guaranteed. And if he gets hurt like he did, and he's not ever going to play again, dude, you are SOL. The tough thing is, I don't know where what ground GMs have to stand on. I mean, if John Schneider's going to say, hey, well, Russell Wilson, sorry, man. Well, we saw what happened with Alex Smith. Yeah, we just can't do that. We're not going to guarantee much. Well, then it's going to be a big fight on your hands with that. I'll tell you what I do. Nobody likes my policy. Yeah, play your contract out, Russell, and we'll franchise tag you. And then we'll franchise tag you again. We'll treat you how Washington treated Kirk Cousins. Isn't that funny? That Washington was the one team ahead of anybody that said, no, we're not doing a long-term deal. No, we don't want to get screwed. We're not doing a long-term deal. We like Kirk Cousins on the franchise tag. That's how we do biz. Then they get rid of Cousins. They can't sign him. They don't want the long-term deal. He goes to Minnesota, gets it. They make the trade for Alex Smith, give him the long-term deal. He doesn't even make it to Thanksgiving, and he never plays again. Karma. Sweet football karma. I mean, the Redskins had it right initially. Hey, don't pay money. Don't give them guaranteed contracts. They give a guaranteed contract, and Alex Smith is gone for the year. It's hilarious. Ballgame show, Benchwarmers Pub and Grill. It's not really hilarious. It's interesting how life turns out that way. We'll be back.
Get rid of those old, worn-out tires and get the feel and confidence of new tires. Rock & Sons has tires. When it's time to change out winter tread or upgrade your all-seasons, family-owned Rock & Sons delivers fast, friendly tire service and value. Get the best quality tires like Goodyear, the #1 tire brand in North America. Rock & Sons also carries the quality and value of Goodyear and other reliable brands. Your dollar goes farther at family-owned and managed Rock & Sons, located on East Adams in LeGrand.
The current Northeast Oregon road conditions are as follows. On I-84, there are no road closures to report at this time. Clear roads are being reported in the Meacham and Cabbage Hill area, as well as the Ladd Canyon and Baker City areas, too. There is a minimum chain restriction in effect, though. You are required to carry chains or traction tires regardless of current conditions. For more road condition updates, stay tuned throughout the day or visit tripcheck.com.
Shout out to the crew at Fat Guys Fresh Deli in good old Meridian, Idaho, on your way to Boise, Eastern Oregonian. Maybe you're flying out somewhere. Maybe you're just getting to Boise for all the reasons we drive to Boise. Next time you go, save your appetite, man. Swing by Fat Guys Fresh Deli. Say you're from LeGrand or Baker City, and Chef Wally is giving you free soup and a free drink. I'm not joking. With the purchase of a sandwich, of course. Fat Guys Fresh Deli. Love those guys. Big game of the night. Well, I mean, this time of year, when I'm transitioning into college basketball, and I think ESPN does a pretty darn good job of its Big Monday package. I mean, they always save a couple of good games over the weekend and have these teams play on Monday. And I think that's a smart move. I think more people are ready to watch college basketball on a Monday night, maybe in some cases than even a Sunday when they have off. Sunday, you got honeydews, you're out, you're about, you're doing stuff. Monday nights, typically, dude, people go home on a Monday night. That's not a big, hey, baby doll, let's go out to dinner. It's Monday. Monday's more like, let's get home, let's take care of the house, let's housekeep a little bit, and what's on TV. Tonight, you got teams that probably go far in this tournament. Duke at Notre Dame, and then you have TCU at Texas Tech. Certainly Duke and Texas Tech. Final Four aspirations. Those are my big games tonight. Just your good old-fashioned Big Monday. That's brought to you by LeGrand Stereo and Music. Brands like Kenwood. Brands like Peavey. Okay, brands like Fender. Brands like Rockford Fosgate, like the best brands in the business. That's not going to the electronics department at Wally World, okay? You don't find those brands there, dude. You find them at LeGrand Stereo and Music. Support your local independent music store, LeGrand Stereo and Music. The best selection of everything in town down there. They do a terrific job. I was thinking about this last night in bed, not joking. Name me a team that gets more of its regular season games played on national television than Duke men's basketball. A higher percentage of regular season games on national television. Who gets more than Duke? I'm going to talk about that next. Don't go anywhere. Here's the news. Ballgame Show.
Eastern Oregon's home for news, talk, weather, and sports. This is KLBM LeGrand and KBKR Baker City. Super Talk Radio, the talk of Eastern Oregon.
The Russia probe, back to work. I'm Ann Cates. Acting U.S. Attorney General Matthew Whitaker has been fully briefed on the probe into Russian interference in the election and any Trump campaign connections to the Kremlin, and thinks it is close to being completed. Plus, President Trump's former personal attorney Michael Cohen will appear on Capitol Hill after all.
Cohen will testify behind closed doors before the House Intelligence Committee on February 8th. The news comes days after Cohen postponed his scheduled testimony before the House Oversight and Reform Committee, citing ongoing threats from President Trump and his personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani. Some members of Congress are suggesting that any threats made against Cohen or his family would amount to witness intimidation and have warned the president against interfering with congressional probes. Cohen heads off to prison in March to begin a 3-year sentence after pleading guilty to campaign finance violations as well as lying to Congress. Linda Kenyon, Washington.
A federal judge in Virginia, meanwhile, has canceled the sentencing for former Trump campaign chairman Paul Manafort until further notice. A court in Washington, D.C. has not yet resolved allegations by prosecutors that Manafort breached his plea deal. Federal employees are back on the job now that the government closure has ended.
A shutdown victim who will be made whole, Glennis Hill, heading to work at the EPA.
Exhilarating knowing that we'll get paid. Now we can get back to work and do the work our mission is to do for the American public.
House and Senate negotiators have been given until February 15th to find a border security funding deal, or else President Trump has said he might force another shutdown.
We don't want another government shutdown. We want a deal that actually addresses border security. It seems like it should be so simple.
Press Secretary Sarah Sanders. Bob Costantini, the White House.
Authorities say at least 3 Houston police officers have been wounded in a shooting. The officers are struck by gunfire during an encounter with a suspect who was reported dead at the scene. On Wall Street, the Dow fell 209 points, the S&P off 21. I'm Ann Cates.
Question: do you have a health insurance plan you are not happy with? Well, Bethany and Jason thought they were stuck. Their plan just kept getting more expensive, and Bethany's favorite doctor didn't even take that plan anymore. And then some friends at church told them about Medishare.
With our previous insurance, we were paying $1,200 a month. With Medishare, we now pay around $600 a month.
Yes, they're paying $600 less per month, and that's a pretty typical savings with Medishare. And they actually like Medishare more.
I was able to go back to my original doctor that I absolutely loved, and it's just been an absolutely beautiful thing being a part of Medishare.
Yeah, so they pay a lot less, and they like it more. No wonder Medishare is growing so fast. Find out more. They're super easy to talk to. All you have to do is call 844-91-BIBLE. That's 844-91-BIBLE. 844-91.
It's time now for your local weather forecast. In LeGrand tonight, partly cloudy skies with a low near 23 degrees. For tomorrow, plenty of sunshine throughout the day and a high near 41. In Baker City tonight, partly cloudy skies too, low near 21 degrees. And for tomorrow, mostly sunny conditions with a high near 40. This weather forecast is brought to you by
Grand Ronde Hospital. As a not-for-profit organization, we provide medical care to everyone, regardless of insurance or financial status.
Grand Ronde Hospital.
You see and hear the name LIII Enterprises all the time. You see their vehicles driving and working throughout the Grand Ronde Valley every day. Located on 10th Street in Baker City, LIII Enterprises sells and installs garage doors and garage door openers and all types of windows and doors. LIII can take your logo and place it on a vehicle for your business. They create signs and banners for any type of event too. So let them help. Big enough for the big jobs, small enough to care. LIII Enterprises, over 40 years of experience.
Attention, Rip City. The Portland Trail Blazers are once again contending for a playoff spot in the Western Conference. Follow your favorite team every game on Super Talk Radio, 1450 AM in LeGrand and 1490 in Baker City. Stop missing the action and come pick up a free Blazers pocket schedule at Pacific Empire Radio in LeGrand on Cove Avenue. Trailblazers basketball on Super Talk Radio is brought to you in part by Dream Builders Contracting and LeGrand Auto Repair.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care. I ever get back, so let's root for the home team. They don't win, it's a shame. 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
The Johnny Ballgame Show.
Brought to you by Benchwarmers Pub and Grill, where I'm being told yesterday Cornhole Bowl was a massive success. Congratulations to the team champion of Shane and Austin, winning Cornhole Bowl yesterday down at Benchies. And Shane, familiar name throughout these parts, certainly throughout this biz where I am. He's just down the hallway from me on 98.7 The Rock. He does mornings over there. Show Me Your Wits, very popular show, and all that, the segment that he does on his show. He won the individual tournament championship last night at Benchwarmers, where they do cool things like that, cornhole tournaments and whatnot. Maybe they'll get something going in that regard for March Madness, which dude, it's going to be February at the end of this week, okay? You get me like midway through February, and I get like a massive, like honestly, like poison ivy type of itch for college basketball. I do. My gears get grinding for men's college basketball in mid-February, and I take that all the way till early April. What comes then? Major League Baseball season starts. I like this time of year. I like the turning of the leaves, so to speak, with my sports season where I can say, football, I love you, I'll miss you, but you know what? Let me make some room on my plate for some other stuff. Let me do some college basketball for a while. Let me enjoy some spring training baseball. I saw what pitchers and catchers are reporting on the 12th of February. It's a couple weeks. You got baseball spring training going. And certainly with the NBA, most teams in the NBA have like 25 games left, and then they're in the playoffs. The All-Star game is not midway through the season. No, they play, good 60% of those games before the break. So it's a fun time of year to be a sports fan, no question. You heard my games of the night and all that stuff, and sure, yeah, shocker, Duke is playing on ESPN right now. Not on the Ocho, not on the Douche, not on the News, not on Classic. No, Duke is playing on ESPN. And that's really the only place Duke ever plays, it seems, is on ESPN. You hear me talking about this a lot, like, gosh, I swear they have some, like, agreement, national television contract with ESPN, Duke basketball. It's crazy. I watch more Duke games than any other team. Duke's not my favorite team at all. In fact, most of the time I watch them, I'm rooting for them to lose, and that, like, never happens. I respect them. How can you not? It is the premier basketball program at that level of my lifetime, Duke. They've never not been awesome. Okay, like maybe one quick little stint when Coach K got sick and he left for like 1 year in the mid-90s. That's it. Every other year, like of my entire life, they're either a 1 or a 2 seed, it seems. Every game they have is on TV. I go back to Duke. Basically, I go back to like Quinn Snyder, Danny Ferry, former Blazer, a la Abdel Nabi, young Christian Leitner. That's kind of where I go back to Duke. I don't really go back much. Jay Billis, Johnny Dawkins, Mark Allery, that team that went to the Final Four in 86. I was still kind of young then. I wasn't paying tons of attention to the Final Four in 86. I really wasn't, dude. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I was playing with my Star Wars toys, or my G.I. Joe aircraft carrier. I actually had that. My folks bought me the aircraft carrier. Talk about a spoiled kid for you, huh? But yeah, it was awesome. Anyway, Duke's always been there. They're always the best team. They're always moving forward. They're always getting the best players. They're always there. Like, they're always on national television. And not joking, I was thinking about this when I was in bed last night. Which team, and I'm talking the whole country, which team has more nationally televised games than Duke? And I couldn't do it. I couldn't find anybody with more. Just hear me out. Duke's going to play, let's say postseason doesn't count, okay? So get rid of the conference tournament, get rid of the big dance. Duke's going to play, what, about 40 games? 35 games before the conference tournament. And let's say of those 35 games, I'm willing to say that 31 of them are on national television. 31. Now, it might not all be ESPN. Most of them will be. There might be the occasional Duke game on like ESPNU. That's when it's like going up against like NFL stuff or some major, baseball play. I don't know what it would be. Honestly, I have no idea. Mega sporting events to put Duke on ESPNU. But like every game, I'll say 31 out of 35, 32 games are on national television for Duke in the regular season. First off, football, I'm sorry, you just don't play enough games. I mean, yeah, sure, Alabama, college football, 12 regular season games, probably 11 of them are on national television. Hell, probably all 12, right? Somewhere buried on the satellite provider. That's still technically national television if anybody who subscribes to that package gets the channel, gets to see the game. But that's only 12 games a year for Bama. Duke's got like 35, like I said, 32. Obviously, the NFL, hey, the Cowboys. Cowboys get like 5 or 6 if they get flexed in or something late. Say 6 nationally televised games per year in the NFL. That's it, 6. So football doesn't count. So then I'm thinking, okay, well, what about the NBA? The Warriors are going to play 82 games this year. Are 35 of them on either TNT or ESPN? I don't think so, dude. If that was the case, I don't know what would happen to their local television contract money. They're on what, NBC Sports, Bay Area or whatever? Now, the Warriors are on national television, don't get me wrong, at least once a week. Most of the time, they're on twice a week. Most of the time. Sometimes it's only once, though. I mean, TNT will try to get you a Warriors game once a week. ESPN will try to get you a Warriors game once a week. But Duke? I mean, Duke is on every game. And if it's not on ESPN, it's on ABC or it's on CBS. Duke, every game is on. And of the 82 games, like I said, the Warriors play, are half of them on national TV? No, I don't think so. I would think, and I'd have to add this up somewhere, I would think Duke is on national television more than the Warriors. And the Warriors play 82 regular season games. Obviously, playoff games don't count. Every NBA playoff game, essentially, is on national television. Certainly every Warriors game. Or Lakers game. Lakers are kind of the same deal. Especially this year with LeBron back. The Celtics. Duke's on more than them. That's crazy. You know what a recruiting pitch that must be? As if K even needs another tool in his pocket to sell his program. But yeah, by the way, we're on national television more than any other team in the country. That's pro or college. Again, give me a team that's on more. Okay, baseball. They play 162 games. National television is what? Games on Fox, games on FS1, and obviously games on ESPN. I guess games on MLB Network count as well. How many times are the Red Sox going to have a national television game this year? They got 162 games. How many games are going to they be on? What ESPN has what? ESPN has Sunday Night Baseball. That's their big package. That's just one game. The Red Sox maybe are on Sunday Night Baseball once a month because they have NL teams and AL teams. They got the Yankees they have to show. They got the Cubs. They got the Cardinals. They got the Dodgers. Yanks, Sox. I mean, the big blue blood teams of Major League Baseball. Now, ESPN also has later on in the year, they do the Wednesday night baseball. You know, sometimes they'll do a Monday night baseball. I know FS1 does like a Fox. Fox does like a game of the week. But I mean, are 40 Red Sox games on national television a year? Defending World Series champions? Maybe. I mean, baseball's got a lot of contracts. ESPN and Fox. They got MLB Network now. MLB Network's always showing games. If you guys have I've been watching a lot of MLB Network right now. You remember the movie Mr. Baseball? Tom Selleck? Might be inappropriate, but I'll say it anyway. I can piss over that fence. That movie. Tom Selleck, Mr. Baseball. That was on MLB Network last night, and pardon my French there. I watched it. The Natural. Anytime The Natural's on, period, I have to watch it. But yeah, MLB Network now you have. Maybe I could say that the Red Sox will be on television, national television, more this year than Duke. Maybe. And that's funny to think when Boston's going to have, if they're lucky, 25% of their regular season games on national television. Most Red Sox games are on NESN. That's their home network, NESN. That's where you catch Red Sox games with Jerry Remy on the call. NESN. That's a regional sports network, not national. So 25%, if they're lucky on a great year, 25% of the Red Sox games are on national television. Same with the Yankees, same with the Cubs, same with the Cardinals and the Dodgers, those blue blood Major League Baseball teams. Now, Duke has like 95% of its games, regular season, on national television. Every Duke game is on. Every one. I mean, Duke is on more than any NFL team, probably any NBA team except maybe the Warriors and or the Lakers. I mean, the Duke's on more. Duke has more national television games in a month than our Portland Trailblazers have all year. Anyway, I was thinking about that when I was laying in bed last night. Don't ask me how or why the train of thought stopped there, but I thought, you know what, I might mention that tomorrow. If you have any take on it, love to hear where you are on that. But we see Duke all the stinking time. Northwest Furniture and Mattress text line, Johnny, the Yankees are on all the time too. Come on, you're right. Yankees are on national television probably twice a week. At least once a week, right? But they're not on Sunday Night Baseball every week. Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN doesn't have a doubleheader. That's one game a week, dude, and it's not the Yankees every week. Now, it's the Yankees more often than, I guess, anybody, but it's not every week, okay? It's not. The Cardinals are on there all the time. The Cubs are on there all the time. The Dodgers, the Giants, when they're good. In Sunday Night Baseball, they actually bounce around a little bit. It's not just the Yanks or the Sox every week. Now, if they're ever playing, it is, no question. I doubt the Yankees or the Red Sox play a weekday series all year. I'd have to look at the schedule. But I bet every time the Yanks and the Sox play this year, it's a Friday to Sunday series or a Thursday to Sunday series. They want that weekend action. I doubt it's, Yankees, Red Sox. They're playing Tuesday through Thursday. Yeah, I don't know, man. Maybe early on in the year. But yeah, Duke is always stinking on. Thoughts? Love to take calls on the Farmers Insurance Hotline, 541-963-4122. Greg Blackman, our Farmers Insurance agent in LeGrand, not new to the business in any capacity. Been around a long time down there at Washington, partnering up with Terry Hughes for a long time. Greg now has the entire show. You're talking to a guy in Greg Blackman. Not only is he an expert in the insurance game, but he has 3 NAIA College World Series baseball rings to his credit. One of the great pitchers in LCSC and here locally in history in these parts. And he does a terrific job talking sports with you, but more often, more so, the insurance game, where he is a titan in the business over there at Farmers Insurance. So call me, 541-963-4122. We're going to do buy or sell here in a second, so continue to get those in. I got about 6 or 7 in. Keep them coming. Get those buy or sells in. You make a statement. Ask me if I'm going to buy or sell it. Johnny, Bill Belichick will retire if they win the Super Bowl this year. Buy or sell? I would probably sell that. Johnny, Jared Goff is going to get sacked less than Tom Brady. Buy or sell? Probably sell that one too. So get those in. You make that statement. Buy or sell coming up. And our special guest this hour celebrating Super Week. This guy was a member of the 85 Bears. He was a tight end. They crushed the Patriots in Super Bowl 20, one of the most famous or infamous teams of all time, the 85 Bears. The tight end on that team is coming on this show in about 20 minutes. Do not miss that interview. Tim Wrightman is his name, and he's terrific. Longtime football player, and he was an actor for a while there, too, so it's always a great interview with Tim Wrightman. That'll be this hour. Don't miss it. He'll be joining us on the Farmers Insurance Hotline. Ballgame Show, Benchies. We'll be back.
Hey, it's winter, which means you can sit around and wait for spring or get a new Toyota 4 or all-wheel drive and get out and go. No matter if it's skiing, tubing, breaking out the snowmobiles, a great road trip, or just a drive across town, with a Toyota 4 or all-wheel drive, it's sure to be easier. Add the fact that nearly every Toyota model now features Toyota Safety Sense, a complete suite of driver-assisted technology at no extra cost. Choose the all-new 2019 RAV4, a Toyota Highlander, 4Runner, Sequoia, Land Cruiser, Sienna van, or Tacoma and Tundra trucks, all with limited time savings options, including as much as $3,500 in cash back, financing as low as 0%, or special low payment leases. It's time to get out and go. Your adventure starts at your local Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. All financing and approved credit through Toyota Financial Services. All vehicles subject to prior sale. All prices plus tax and title dealer doc fees vary by dealer. For more details, call 1-888-21-TOYOTA. Offers end 2/4/19.
Gather round, children, and I'll tell you a tale of old Grandpa's weather hip and how it never fails. I always had my coat, my hat clutched in fear, because old Grandpa's weather hip told me when bad weather was near. The pain it would flare, and Grandpa might swear that's how you knew the weather wasn't fair. Then Grandpa went down and got in quick with Mountain Valley Therapy, and they healed his hip. Now we have to listen to the radio to know how to dress, thanks to Mountain Valley Therapy. Grandpa feels at his best. If you or your grandpa has a weather hip, call Mountain Valley Therapy, and we'll get you in quick.
The loss of a loved one is an emotional time. What you need is one less thing to worry about. Does advanced planning make sense for you or your loved ones? We not only offer a wide range of services, but a custom of caring and a well-earned tradition of trust. At this difficult time, your thoughts should be with them, and with us, they can be.
Daniel's Knob, Funeral, Cremation, and Life Celebration Center on 7th Street in LeGrand.
The current Northeast Oregon road conditions are as follows. On I-84, there are no road closures to report at this time. Clear roads are being reported in the Meacham and Cabbage Hill area, as well as the Ladd Canyon and Baker City areas, too. There is a minimum chain restriction in effect, though. You are required to carry chains or traction tires regardless of current conditions. For more road condition updates, stay tuned throughout the day or visit tripcheck.com.
Welcome back. Super Week continues. Don't miss the tight end for the 85 Bears hopping on with us in about 10-12 minutes. Tim Wrightman, always a wonderful guest. Tomorrow, by the way, I have a member of the Super Bowl 50 winning Denver Broncos. He was a defensive back, and he'll talk a lot about Wade Phillips. Because remember, Wade Phillips, he was the coordinator of that Broncos team just 3 years ago who beat the Patriots in the conference championship. His name is Shiloh Kao, a defensive back, played with the Texans, played with the Saints, played with the Broncos, and a champion in Super Bowl 50. He'll come on tomorrow. Shiloh is an Idaho Vandal. That's my alum as well, so love the fact that I got Vandals with Super Bowl rings. We'll talk to him tomorrow. Let's get this thing going, brought to you by Rockin' Sons Tire and Auto. You get in a jam and you need a tow, there's no second option. Rockin' Sons, they don't even take a lunch. We're calling this 25-hour towing, okay? You need a tow. You're in a jam. It's an easy call. Rockin' Sons Tire and Auto. Let's have some fun with it. Buy or sell. Cue it up. All right, first up, my homeboy Chancewell. Johnny, buy or sell. Anthony Davis gets traded to the Lakers. I'm going to buy this. It's just, look, it's just history of the NBA. You know, Kareem gets traded there. Wilt gets traded there. Shaq goes there in free agency. It's just like, you know, LeBron, free agency. They're the Lakers. Everybody wants to date the pretty girl. Basketball players want to be a Laker. It's like baseball players wanting to be a Yankee or a Red Sox nowadays. It's just bigger and better. I'll buy this, man. I think they make it happen. And I think Anthony Davis, yes, will be a Laker. I think he goes there. No question. I'll buy that. Coming up next, what do we have? Buy or sell on a Monday? The Rams can put pressure on Tom Brady, Johnny. Buy or sell? Dude, didn't you hear me just talking about Wade Phillips? Look, I'll tell you this. As a defensive coordinator, I believe Wade Phillips has an all-time playoff record of 2-1 versus Tom Brady. Think about that. When Brady does lose in the playoffs, which is never, but when he does, a lot of times there, Wade Phillips is coordinating the defense. And he's got a dude in Aaron Donald who's going to win another Defensive Player of the Year award. 20.5 sacks from an interior lineman spot. It's like Reggie White stuff, man. I'm buying this. The Rams can put pressure. Now, you're not saying they will. You're saying, can they? I'm saying, heck yeah. Wade Phillips puts pressure on his grandmother if he needs to, dude. Like, Wade Phillips, he's one of the great coordinators of all time. If they had a Hall of Fame wing for coordinators, Dick LeBeau, Wade Phillips, first ballot Hall of Fame coordinators. No question, man. I'm buying that. Next up, Rockin' Sons. Buy or sell. What else do we have? Johnny, the Pro Bowl should be on a rotational basis. Let me just start by saying this. I have like 4 buy or sell Pro Bowl stuff. So don't tell me nobody watches this, you geeks. You stinking schmohawks. You guys are watching the Pro Bowl. You losers. When's the last time you made out with someone? Huh? When's the next time you woke up to something besides your dog or cat at the foot of the bed? If you're geeking out watching the Pro Bowl, you're not getting a lot of action. I can tell you that right now, dude. Now back to the deal. The Pro Bowl should be on a rotational basis. I'll buy it. Sure. Give other cities a chance to host the Pro Bowl. Sure. But here's the deal. Orlando has Disney World. Honolulu has Hawaii. Like, where else are you going to take it? Dudes want to bring their families. They want to bring their kids. You know, Orlando's an easy sell. Kids, you think the kids care about going to the Pro Bowl with Daddy? Hell no. Daddy says, hey, we're going to Disney World. Oh, hell yes. Or Hawaii. A lot of players in the NFL have never been to Hawaii until they get to a Pro Bowl. All expenses vacay. So good luck putting the Pro Bowl. Good luck putting the Pro Bowl in Pittsburgh. Yeah, good luck putting the Pro Bowl in Seattle. So I don't know. Johnny, the New Orleans Pelicans should move to Seattle. Buy or sell is the easiest purchase of my life. Yes, I buy it for very personal and selfish reasons. Let's move on. Johnny, you watched the Pro Bowl. Buy or sell? I buy this. I did. I had the Pro Bowl on one of my secondary TVs all day. The whole thing. You want to know how nerdy I am? You want to know how single I am? You want to know how many cats I probably have? I watched the Pro Bowl pregame show. Did you guys find yourself watching that too? I mean, if you have any life whatsoever, you're going to be busy during the Pro Bowl pregame show. I have no life. I watched 2 hours of pregame Pro Bowl coverage, and I was embarrassed, man. I was. Rockin' Sons Tire and Auto, buy or sell? Johnny, Jim Nantz and Tony Romo calling Super Bowl 53 is the best. Buy or sell? I love them. I'm more of a Michaels Collinsworth guy. I'm sorry, I'm selling this. I like my Michaels and Collinsworth. Those are my guys. I'll tell you this, though. Romo is skyrocketing in the business. 2 years from now, Romo's the best, and I think a lot of people can argue that he's the best right now. But I'm more of an Al Michaels guy than a Jim Nantz. Now, don't get me wrong. Nantz and Romo will be money. They'll be fine. It's just not my favorite. Johnny, the Rams beating the Patriots in the John Madden football simulation is something to pay attention to. Buy or sell? Dude, you guys are such nerds, man. I'm selling that. Wow, oh my God, they simulated the game, Johnny, and the Rams won in Madden. Oh my gosh. Are the Patriots going to put that as bulletin board material too because they're such big underdogs? Oh my God, we're the Patriots. We're underdogs here. Nobody thinks we have a chance. So sick of that too. You're the Patriots. You're there every year. You're the furthest thing from an underdog I have ever seen in my sports-loving life. You are not an underdog, dude. You haven't been for 20 years. You were a dog in 01, but it's 19 now, yo. Jared Goff was 5 then. Okay, here's more Pro Bowl stuff. You guys are such geeks. I love you, though. Johnny, Russell Wilson was sacked 4 times in the Pro Bowl. He should never play in that game again. Buy or sell? Hopefully, buy this. Russell, don't play in any more Pro Bowls. That's just not a Russell thing. And look, Russell getting sacked isn't always on the line. I watch Russell as much as anybody. I've watched all 22 from Russell. He gets happy feet, man. A lot of times he does. And it's off. If he gets in a happy feet type of day, he's not getting the ball out and he's not escaping. It's frustrating. And for you Pro Bowl geeks, I have one more, and then we're going to get out of here. Rockin' Sons, buy or sell? You guys are ticking me off. Johnny, Jason Garrett's play calling killed the NFC yesterday. Buy or sell? I can't make this up. I can't. I'm not that talented. So we're really arguing about Pro Bowl play calling? That's a thing? We're mad at Jason Garrett for having a poor play calling performance in the Pro Bowl? I'm not saying he didn't. The NFC couldn't move the ball. I thought the AFC's roster was a little better too, but I shouldn't make an excuse. We're really ripping, honestly, that's what we're doing today. We're ripping Jason Garrett's play calling in the Pro Bowl. Yeah, fire, get him out of here. He's a horrible play calling. Jason Garrett in the Pro Bowl couldn't call a play. Horrible play calling. You guys in your play calling are so funny. I'm going to sell that. Rockin' Sons Tire and Auto, buy or sell. Fun stuff today. Appreciate you guys. Some good ones. A lot of Pro Bowl stuff, though. Do you want to know about the Pro Bowl ratings? I'll just tell you this. It got a 5.7. That's the second highest Pro Bowl rating in the last 5 years, okay? And it aired on NBC then. So, yeah, the Pro Bowl is going nowhere. If you get a 5.7 overnight rating, are you kidding me? NBA playoff games don't get that. NHL Stanley Cup Finals Game 7 doesn't get that. And that's a Game 7 NHL Stanley Cup Finals. More people watch the Pro Bowl. I love it. Warriors Celtics last night. Here's a comparison on Saturday night. Warriors Celtics, okay? A game with a lot at stake in the NBA, I guess. Could be a final preview, whatever. Warriors Celtics, okay? That drew a 3.2. Okay? Pro Bowl on Sunday afternoon. Not even in prime time. Draws a 5.7. I love us. We're such geeks. Tim Wrightman, the starting tight end for the 85 Chicago Bears, Super Bowl 20 champion. He's on the Farmers Insurance Hotline. We come next. Do not miss this interview.
It's time now for your local weather forecast. In LeGrand tonight, partly cloudy skies with a low near 23 degrees. For tomorrow, plenty of sunshine throughout the day and a high near 41. In Baker City tonight, partly cloudy skies too, low near 21 degrees. And for tomorrow, mostly sunny conditions with a high near 40. This weather forecast is brought to you by LeGrand Gold and Silver, family owned and managed for over 35 years. Your trusted local experts for fine jewelry and precious metals. Shop LeGrand Gold and Silver's full line of quality jewelry, gifts, and coins, and find the perfect gift that will be cherished for a lifetime.
I'm here to tell you how to hack McDonald's $1, $2, $3 menu. All you gotta do is order 2 sausage McMuffin, 2 McChicken, or 2 McDouble sandwiches. You'll get them both for just $3. You can even mix them up. There's even a way to hack the hack. It's adding any size McCafe brewed coffee or soft drink for $1. Lots of people have tried this, and it totally works.
McDonald's new Choose 2 for $3 on the $1, $2, $3 menu. It's no hack, just an awesome deal. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with combo meal. Single item at regular price.
NBA basketball is kicked into high gear right now, and Super Talk Radio is your continued home for Portland Trailblazers basketball. Don't miss Dame Dalla drop another 40 points on another opponent, or the silky smooth game of CJ McCollum, all on Super Talk Radio. That's 1450 AM in LeGrand and 1490 in Baker City. Trailblazers basketball on Super Talk Radio is brought to you in part by Kurt's RV Service and Repair, Rockin' Sons Tire and Auto, and Cricket Wireless.
It's time now for a community calendar update. Union County Progressives and Energy Trust of Oregon will be presenting a free event focusing on saving money on natural gas bills. Susan Badger Jones, the Eastern Oregon Outreach Manager for Energy Trust of Oregon, will be providing an overview of energy-saving tips for keeping homes warmer and also explaining new technical services and financial incentives available to customers of Avista. This free event will begin at 6:30 p.m. on Thursday, January 31st at St. Peter's Episcopal Church, located at 1001 O Avenue on the corner of 4th Street in LeGrand. The American Legion Post 43 in LeGrand holds bingo Thursday evenings, with early bird games starting at 6 and a second session beginning at 7. The public is welcome to come down to 301 First Street in LeGrand each week to participate. Refreshments will also be served, cash only please. This community calendar update is brought to you by LeGrand Gold and Silver, family owned and managed, and your trusted local experts for fine jewelry and precious metals. Shop LeGrand Gold and Silver's full line of quality jewelry, gifts, and coins.
Joe Beans on Adams Avenue knows coffee. Whether it's that morning cup of Joe that starts your day, or that delicious Java for lunch, or in the afternoon that keeps your day going, Joe Beans is where you need to go. You'll taste the difference with Joe Beans coffee. Why? Well, Joe Beans uses locally roasted beans from Somerville, and Al and lovely Colleen McLeod know the industry as well as anyone. All types of flavors for coffee and espresso drinks. Give Joe Beans a try next time you want Eastern Oregon's top cup of Joe. Joe Beans on Adams Avenue.
Johnny Ballgame Show, Bench Warmers Pub and Grill, certainly a song that will never get old and live in infamy in pro football history. It's the Super Bowl Shuffle. Many consider it to be the greatest single-season team in the history of the NFL, and we're not going to refute that claim, certainly in this segment. Let's head on over to the Farmers Insurance Hotline, one of our favorite guests. We love bringing him on, especially this time of year. He was the tight end on the 1985 Super Bowl 20 winning Chicago Bears. He's doing wonderful things not far away from us at the Lazy Bear Ranch in Weiser. We'll talk about a lot of that stuff. Please welcome Tim Wrightman to the program right now. Tim, and certainly for you, first off, welcome to the show, and obviously Super Week. You must love this week. A lot of memories coming back, I'd imagine.
Absolutely. Super Bowl Shuffle, 1 million copy sold platinum video. Come on. It's from now on, you need to introduce me as, because of the movie that came out last January, 85, the greatest team in football history.
And obviously that's kind of, I was going to start with that. There was another list that was just made a couple of days ago. I think it was ESPN that ranked.
Do they have a movie, Johnny?
No, they didn't have a movie, Timmy boy.
Okay, they don't have a movie. When they get a movie, then we can discuss the other list.
Well, Tim, they ranked you guys as the number one Super Bowl winning team of all time. I mean, number one.
Okay, I like the list.
Tim, what are some
Johnny Football? How are you?
I'm doing great, man. It's good to hear your voice, Tim Wrightman. And
thank you.
And I want to talk about the Lazy Bear Ranch. We got a lot of cool stuff coming, but I guess I'll just start you with this. This time of year when you do think about your fond Super Bowl memories, where you guys kicked the holy hell out of the Patriots, a team we'll see here next week. Obviously, we didn't see the Patriots going on this run back in '85, obviously. But what are the big?
Well, Tom Brady's so old; he was actually a rookie on the team that we beat in '86.
Yeah, he was backing up Grogan and Eason. Yeah,
right.
Totally.
And Eason, yeah.
He was on the
Tony
practice
Eason,
squad.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Tim, what are the memories that go through your head? Just the whole Super Bowl experience for you, and I know you still wear that ring with a lot of pride.
Actually, the day of the Super Bowl was January 26th. It was way back when they played the Super Bowl in January.
Yeah.
And, that week it was interesting because Jim McMahon got a bad rap that he was on a radio show, and one of the sports guys in New Orleans said that he called the women in New Orleans a bunch of sluts. And so it was interesting because, he was getting death threats that week. And he had to wear a different number in practice, and none of the guys wanted to stand next to him. So, there was we were practicing at the old Saints facility down there, and there was an apartment building across the way, and everybody was looking like if there was going to be rifles out the windows.
How did management, you're talking the Hallis family, the McCaskies, who still own the Bears to this day. Talk about a family business. How did the old guard of the Hallis and McCaskey family deal with you characters on the 85 Bears? You must have drove them nuts.
I think, Dick has said it best. He said we were characters with character. Even though we were having fun and we did that, none of the guys really got in trouble. The guy who got probably in the most trouble was Dick. After we beat the 49ers that year, He got drunk on the airplane and got pulled over for a DUI. I mean, he's the guy who got in more trouble than the team did. So,
did you guys drive by him like when he was getting pulled over? Weren't you guys like heading the right? Did you drive past him that night, Tim?
Yeah, well, I didn't, but yeah, some of the guys did.
I heard about that. Like I heard that story. Like they were driving on the freeway and there's the Iron Mike getting cuffed, on the side of the freeway, following when you guys kicked the crap out of the Niners that year. What was again? Tim Wrightman, 85 Bears, tight end, UCLA All-American, long acting career. We'll get into that as well. Just your overall mindset heading into that Super Bowl. Only the one loss. Marino got you guys on a Monday night in Miami, but I'm sure you went into that game with a lot of confidence versus that 85 Patriots squad. Tell me about that, Tim.
Well, if we beat the Patriots earlier that year in Chicago. We were hoping that the Dolphins would beat the Patriots so we could avenge our only loss of the season. And after we had lost to the Dolphins, the next day we actually went and they filmed and recorded the Super Bowl Shuffle. So, after our first loss, the next day we're doing the Super Bowl Shuffle. If we would have been, excuse me, Johnny, if we would have lost the Super Bowl, we would have been the biggest all-time choke artist of all time. Here they come out with a song, the Super Bowl Shuffle, and they don't even win or make it to the Super Bowl because there was a chance, we could have lost in the playoffs to the Giants or the Rams.
Sure.
And so, it's really one of those things. They talk about Joe Namath saying, we're going to win tomorrow. We were saying it in week 13. Right? And so so the big thing was, going into the Super Bowl, after we had lost to the Vikings or to the Dolphins and we knew our undefeated season was over, it was just a matter of fact. Okay, let's do our job. Let's go through. Let's get our Super Bowl rings and, get through with it. So it wasn't even a matter. It was kind of a matter of fact, business trip to go down and get our rings.
Tim Wrightman, 85 Bears, always a great get on this program, Farmers Insurance Hotline. It was so different back then with the way practice was constructed, stories I've heard. Like, I can't imagine the Rams or the Patriots are going to do a lot of hitting. Pads probably won't be popping a lot in practice this week. What was Super Bowl week for you guys with the Bears? Like, full scrimmages and stuff? But, I mean, what the hell?
I don't know. I don't know about full scrimmages, but I can tell you, Dicka would make us run every practice. Every practice he would make us run. And I think that was one of the things we were in such great shape, even at the end of the season when a lot of teams are kind of lacking.
Yeah.
He would make us run sprints every practice. I mean, even when we had mini camps and fall practice wasn't for 3 months, he'd make us, run sprints in mini camp. It was amazing. But, it is, like you said, it's a lot different now.
How'd your offense hold up against that defense in practice? I mean, you guys fare well. I mean, you guys had the best back in football, maybe in NFL history. I'm sure some of those scrimmages got a little tight, I'm sure, correct?
Well, absolutely. And that was the thing. It's like people ask, what was the best defense that you guys played Super Bowl year? And you'd say, the Bears, because we play them every day in practice. And they would challenge us. I mean, there's times when you go 3/4 speed and you let the offense, get on their blocks and what they're supposed to do. Our defense wouldn't let us do that, which made us better. I mean, we led the league in rushing that year, time of possession.
Yeah.
And even though they had the greatest, defense of all time, I always tell those guys, well, if you can't play for 20 minutes a game, how good are you?
Sure.
I mean, the offense had the ball for almost 40 minutes a game.
No, you did your part.
And with Walter grinding it down and, that sort of thing, it was, we had a pretty good offense and took advantage of what the defense gave us when they got a fumble or an interception. We took advantage of it.
I feel like, when I hear all the 85 Bears and I hear you guys, talking and all that, and I mean, you've probably answered 50,000 Walter Payton questions your life, Tim, but I just think that's how special of a player he was. So I don't want to ask you just the quintessential Payton question. Tim, I want you to give me something that maybe most people who pay attention to football and love that Bears team might not have known. I mean, you played with one of the great players of all time, Walter Payton.
Yeah, well, Walter was, they have the award named after him, and it's so deserving. the guy was, take football out of it. He was a great human being and just, had such life to him. And I think about how even now that this 85 team is still relevant and they talk about it being the best team. And I think about if Walter was still alive, because he was such a great ambassador of the game, of the Bears, of that team, we'd still be, drawing crowds in Chicago. Because he was just that kind of guy. He was one of those guys that has charisma. And he'd walk into a room and he had charisma and he kept the team loose. He was a lot of fun, always joking around, and he was a big jokester. But he, had a great attitude. Like I said, football aside, he was the best football player I've ever seen. He could do it all. He could run. He could pass. He could block.
Yeah.
I was lucky enough to catch 2 halfback passes from him. And,
That's awesome. That's awesome, man.
So and he was our backup punter. He could do it all. He was one of those kind of guys.
That was impressive. You're listening to Tim Wrightman. He was a member of the 85 Bears, the tight end, had a great career all over the place, USFL, NFL, All-American at UCLA. Tim, it's well documented that, the whole beef between Mike Ditka and Buddy Ryan. Mike Ditka didn't hire Buddy Ryan. Mr. Hallis did and whatnot. Did it make the players feel awkward at all, or did you guys love it when Ditka and Buddy would get in a yelling match on the practice field or something? Everybody knew that they didn't like each other. Did that create maybe some awkward moments for the players?
Oh, well, they were at it all the time, and it's well documented that the Bears were like 2 different teams during the week, and then we come together as one team on Sunday, which I think made us better, but there was no love lost between Buddy and Ditka. And, going into that game, I don't know if you remember, it's the night before the game, and Buddy Ryan announced that he wasn't going to be with the Bears next year. So, the defense, it's well talked about that Steve McMichael got up and he threw a chair through the projector screen, and there was guys sobbing in there because Buddy was going to leave. Here's the biggest game of their career, and the defensive coordinator's going to go, and it was really emotional.
Yeah,
the defense was really emotional. The night before and that sort of thing, and we didn't on offense. We really didn't know what was going on until the defense came out of their meeting. But Buddy had announced that he was going to leave after that game, so I don't know if that fired him up more. I guess It was Super Bowl was definitely a defensive game. One of the few times you had a defensive player be the MVP of the game, Richard Dent. And Richard was just, his nickname on the team was Colonel. And the guy when he wanted to play, you couldn't stop him. He just couldn't be stopped.
Hey,
yeah.
Did you ever have to face, let's just throw a name out there, mid-'80s, Lawrence Taylor? How'd you fare against LT, Tim Wrightman?
Are you leading me into one of my stories, Johnny?
I love trying to get you there. Yeah, you know me, Timmy. Give me an LT story, my brother.
The hardest guy ever had a block, though, in all my days playing pro football was Ed Too Tall Jones.
Okay.
The guy, he tried to go, get around him on the backside. He'd take one step. He was halfway across the field.
Damn, man. Yeah, those Cowboy teams.
And he had a quick first step. I mean, the guy was amazing. I mean, he was kind of a freak as far as, how tall he was and how fast he could move. So,
are you jealous of tight ends now when you watch the game on Sunday, Tim, what they get to do?
Yeah, it's pretty cool to be able to run across the middle and not worry about getting your head ripped off. Hey, what's really changed the game, though, John, is the gloves. The gloves, I mean, it's amazing. When the closest thing we had to those gloves was Lester Hayes wearing, Stickum all over his body. I mean, the gloves are unbelievable what they can do with the gloves now. One-hand catches.
Yeah.
it's just like, it's amazing.
McMahon had a pretty good arm. I know they didn't have to use it much, but he threw the ball all over the place in college at BYU, set a bunch of records. Do not enough people maybe talk about that? I mean, McMahon gets associated with two things, one being cool, the other winning, and I guess that's all you need. But Jim McMahon, he could put it on you, couldn't he? He had a good arm.
Jim was really, let me put it this way. Jim was one of the smartest football players and audibilized out of a lot of things that Ditka had called. In the years that I played with Jim, I think probably 10% of the balls he threw me were spirals. But Jim, it didn't matter how the ball got there, but he would get it there. But, I've seen him, and there was a game when he was, rolling to his left, and the guy was, the defensive player had his jersey, and he switched balls to his left hand and threw the ball in the end zone for a touchdown with his left hand.
Unbelievable.
I mean, he was one of those guys that would sacrifice his body and just got it done. He just got it done.
I love
whatever it took.
85 Bear Tim Wrightman hanging out with us right now. Tim, you're at the Lazy Bear Ranch in Weiser, and I've talked a little bit about this in the past on my show. Just, I have a lot of, where I'm in Eastern Oregon, man, a lot of people listen to this show go out hunting, and they love pheasant hunting, and you provide such an awesome experience. I'm talking like for like a fun bachelor party or just a dude day, get together with your crew, get to the Lazy Bear Ranch, go hunting with you, Chicago Bear, you got your stories, you guys are having a blast, you go hunting, you go back to the Lazy Bear Ranch. Lazy Bear Ranch is like a bed and breakfast. You eat, you sleep, you get up, you drive home the next day. I know there's a lot more to it than that, but just tell my listeners a little bit more. The Lazy Bear Ranch, we got to get folks from Baker City and LeGrand. We got to get folks over there all the time. This is an awesome deal, Tim.
Thanks, man. Yeah, what I try to do, Johnny, is my dad used to take me pheasant hunting, and so what I try to say is I try to make it like it's opening day 1960 of pheasant hunting. Okay. And so I try to recreate that experience for guys, that it's like wild bird hunting. We do have a shooting preserve. Last year we went through, almost 4,000 pheasant. We've got facilities to sleep 10. We've got a great chef. We really feed our guys well. As they say, I always try to hedge my bets. As they say in the guide world, if the hunt isn't good, the food better be great. So the food is always great here, but the hunt's great too.
Absolutely.
And so we do day hunts, we do weekend hunts, overnights, that sort of thing. And then last year, Johnny, we started doing weddings from here. I had a couple of the local girls in Weiser knock on my door, and they say, "Hey, Tim, can we do our wedding at your ranch?" And I'm saying, "Really? It's that pretty?" They, "Oh, yeah, your place is beautiful. We'd like to do our wedding here." So, me being the astute businessman, I say,
Absolutely.
Maybe I'm leaving a lot on the table here. Maybe in the off season of hunting, I will do weddings. So we had 7 last year. We have 5 booked this year. And you can rest assured that with the pheasant hunting and the weddings, I am your go-to person for shotgun weddings.
Tim,
just think about that.
Tim, I just want to let you know, if I ever do have a wedding and get married, I'm having it at the Lazy Bear Ranch. That's a done deal. And Tim, maybe you could come with me down to Benchwarmers Pub and Grill. We can work our magic there. Start having a couple.
I will
of drinks.
be your wingman, Johnny.
Yeah,
I will come there and be your wingman. You let me know.
I will, man.
I'll be up there.
Let's get you here. Let's talk about some upcoming events. You have something coming up in May where NFL legends are coming. Your buddy from college, longtime NFL quarterback Jay Schrader for the Raiders and the Redskins, and then who doesn't forget this guy, the hitman Gary Fensick. These two guys are coming to Weiser, Idaho, to take part in an event in May. Tell us about this, Tim.
Let me give you a little background. So I decided it was time. I guess everybody in their life, when they've been fortunate and blessed, like I feel I have, time to get back. So I started a foundation last year, Johnny, and it's called the Tim Wrightman Foundation. They use my name, but I'm not on the board anymore. I helped develop it, but we're going to do. So we started this where we're going to try to do a football camp once a month during the summer months. And the reason that kind of motivated me was that people in this area don't have a lot of money, but the college coaches have seen to realize that another source of revenue is doing these football camps for kids. And a lot of kids can't afford to go. So I figured, you know what, it'd be cool to be able to do something free for, 11 to 14-year-old kids, target 6 middle schools each time, bring out 6 kids from each school, give them a little football camp, swag bag, hats, that sort of thing, make a big deal, bring in some celebrity coaches.
Yeah.
And then what the main thrust of it is, though, John, is that we're going to have a chalk talk afterwards. And I developed a program entitled You Gotta Have Heart. And it stands for hard work, enthusiasm, attitude, responsibility equals triumph. And so we're going to do, each one of those celebrity coaches will have their own little spiel about character and integrity. And if we can affect just one kid and make their life better or help them make better choices and decisions, that's what the camp's about. I mean, most of these kids, and I can say, you can go through the odds, aren't going to play pro football. But if we can give them something that helps them deal with their life situations, I think that's the thrust of the camp. We're basically luring the kids in with the football and candy, but the main thrust is our chalk talks, pep talk, whatever you want to call it. I'll try to do better than Dicka did with our pep talks, but that's kind of the main thrust of the whole thing.
I love it. Former 85 Bear Tim Wrightman. Tim, you were an All-American at UCLA during a great time with UCLA football. I mean, you're talking the Terry Donahue era, very successful. You got to play in the Rose Bowl every Saturday and all that good stuff, Tim. You're a good-looking guy that says, your movie career. It must have been pretty damn fun being Tim Wrightman when you were in your early 20s there, looking the way you did, living the way you lived, and being an All-American in football. Life must have been pretty fun, huh, my man?
I reaped the benefits of having good genetics. Thanks, Mom and Dad.
Yeah.
And, my college girlfriend was actually was Miss USA 1983 and first runner-up Miss Universe. Was a cheerleader on the UCLA football.
That's
for
exactly
the football team.
Miss Universe. I knew it. I just that's why I came with that interview. I did not know that you dated a future Miss Universe contestant. I just figured, hey, look at this guy. Look where he played. All-American. Yeah, I bet he did a pretty good job off the field, if you know what I mean. What was better, your acting career or your football career? Let's be honest, man.
Well, I got to say that I've only been noticed one time for my acting career, where somebody came up to me, not knowing I was a football player, and said, "You know what? You look familiar to me." I said, "Oh yeah, I played for the Chicago Bears '85, Super Bowl team." No, that's not it. I'm not a football fan. I saw you on Baywatch.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
You had 2 different roles on Baywatch. You played 2 different characters, man. That's pretty good company.
I did, yeah. I played a lifeguard, and I also played a doctor. So yeah,
you played a
Go
doctor.
Figure. I have a lot of range, Johnny. I knew my acting career was over when they, the casting agent sent out the information to the agents, that they're looking for certain actors, and it said I was still acting, and the thing said looking for a Tim Wrightman type. I knew my career was over when I was still acting, and they were just looking for my type and not me.
Played an actor on Baywatch. Honestly, you were also on Walker, Texas Ranger. Your role, your character, you didn't have a name. It just says on the IMDb page, strip club manager. You were the manager of a strip club. You're kind of this dirtball, greaseball guy.
And got his butt kicked by Chuck Norris.
Yeah, Chuck Norris.
That's what they should have said.
Yeah,
Guy who gets his butt kicked by Chuck Norris.
Hey, in real life, and when you met Chuck, where you were in your life and where Chuck was in his life, real life situation, is Chuck Norris kicking your ass then too in real life?
I don't think so.
Yeah, you think you can hold your own?
Chuck at the time had a double that his hips were pretty bad at the time, and he had this kid that looked almost just like him that he had, gone to one of his, schools when he was a kid.
Yeah.
Chuck trained him. And he was doing all Chuck's roundhouse kicks and stuff like that. So Chuck he wasn't as, Chuck's tiny. He's like 5'6", 5'7", something like that.
Dang.
In fact, that show was called an Under 6, and typically actors couldn't audition for the show if they were over 6 foot tall.
Because they didn't want to make Chuck Norris look that short. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah, there was 2 shows at that time. It was It was Walker, Texas Ranger, and Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman, that were, when they were being filmed, they were called under 6 shows, so you couldn't really audition unless you were under 6 foot tall.
Former NFL player, former actor Tim Wrightman, former boyfriend of a future Miss Universe contestant as well. Hey,
God, I got you stammering, didn't I?
That's cool, man.
With the first runner-up Miss Universe.
Hey,
yeah.
was it hard to get into character, to find your motivation to be a strip club manager? Was that hard for you?
Oh, no, just, put on the long leather coat and slick the hair back.
And yet, I think you had a little bit of, you had the 5 o'clock shadow going, right? Strip club manager's not cleanly shaved, is he?
Yeah. I didn't have a ponytail or anything like that, or, that would have been good if I could have had a ponytail. But
did you ever think about wrestling, like WWF or anything like that? You were a big dude. You looked good. You could have put on some briefs, a little underwear thing with the big boots. You ever consider maybe getting in the ring?
No, Steve McMichael did that.
Yeah.
Steve McMichael did that, and he was really good at it. Steve's got that, that big rap, and he loves the attention and all that stuff. And interestingly enough, Steve was married to this beautiful girl named Deborah when he was playing for the Bears, and then they got into the whole wrestling thing, and his wife left him for Stone Cold Steve Austin.
No way.
Yeah,
see, this is why I bring you on. Forget Super Week. Forget the big game on Sunday.
Yeah, this is all good inside stuff.
This is great. This is great water cooler stuff. People love you coming on, Tim, and we gotta.
If it's not true, let's spread the rumor anyway, right?
Yeah, I gotta help you pack the Lazy Bear Ranch, man. I mean, folks over on these neck of the woods where I am, people love to hunt, Tim, and I think you could get a mega clientele base from Eastern Oregon, Baker City, and here in LeGrand, and I got to do more to pump this up. I got to take the show on the road.
LazyBearRanch.com. Remember that, LazyBearRanch.com.
Thank you.
And then if you have a minute, I'll talk about what you already said about.
I got a few minutes.
I've got
Tim.
a big fundraiser coming up in June that I'd like to just share. If you got a minute, if not, then we can do it another time.
No, Tim, we'll do it another time too. But let's also do it right now, Tim. You've been given you're radio gold whenever you come on, Wrightman. You kidding me?
Thanks,
you can say whatever the hell you want. What you got, dude?
So we're going to do the football camp May 4th, and we've already got the kids that are coming, but we will have 30 to 40 spots if people are Bears fans and want to come meet Gary Fensick, who's a great guy and he's a great fit for this camp. And our first camp is because he went to Yale. He's an Ivy League guy, very successful business guy, really classy guy, and would just knock your head off coming across the middle. Him and Doug Plank, that sort of
the 46
that duo.
Yep.
But just a great guy. And then Jay Schrader, he was my teammate at UCLA for a couple of years. He famously, in our last inter-squad scrimmage in my junior year, threw a ball. We were having an inter-squad scrimmage at the Coliseum before we played the University of Colorado, our opening game.
Okay.
He threw a ball high across the middle, and probably one of your favorite all-time players, Kenny Easley, who was our free safety at UCLA,
Yep.
3-time All-American, entered in the Hall of Fame last year. Hit me so hard he broke 3 of my ribs. That's the hardest I've ever been hit. So I always like to thank Jay for throwing the ball high across the middle for me.
Oh, dude.
But he's coming here, and he had an interesting career. He was the first player picked in baseball at a high school, so he had a great opportunity in baseball. Went and played baseball after UCLA left UCLA after his second year. Went and played baseball. Had been out of football for 3 years. Had a tryout at UCLA. Joe Gibbs saw him throw the ball, and he got drafted in the second round. The guy just was a natural athlete with a rocket for an arm.
Yeah, I remember.
So it's just, yeah. And so I'm really happy that those two guys are coming to our camp May 4th. If anybody's interested in coming and meeting them, hearing them speak, get autographs, Bears fans, Raiders fans, Redskins fans, get a hold of me and get a ticket. It's a $100 donation. You get lunch, and you get a meet and greet with the players and hang out and have some fun. And just get, LazyBearRanch.com, info at LazyBearRanch.com will get you to the right person to get that taken care of. Now we're going to have a big fundraiser at the ranch. It's going to be a cardboard regatta on our lake here. We're going to have 2 live bands. It's free to the public. That's June 15th. Here at the Lazy Bear Ranch. You can also find out information on our, we're getting our webpage set up for the TimWrightmanFoundation.org. That's timwrightmanfoundation.org. There'll be a lot of information at that. And we're also on Lazy Bear Ranch, Lazy Bear Ranch Weddings, Tim Wrightman, and Tim Wrightman Foundation are all on Facebook, so you can't miss us.
Tim, I was bummed I couldn't get out there last year when you had Jim McMahon out there at the Lazy Bear Ranch. But this
I invited
year,
you.
You did, and I couldn't make it happen. But this year with
He was disappointed you didn't make it.
I know, because I was going to chug a beer with him, and I think I could beat him. And you said I had no chance in hell, and I wanted a chance to chug a beer against the punky QB. I mean, I can chug, man, and I will prove that when I'm out there with you, Tim. Even though I know you're not one that sips back on the potion much. But Tim,
well, I hope you can make one of the things if you can't make it the 4th or on 2 Saturdays. So
yeah, I mean, I'm going to try
it'd
to
be
get
awesome if you could come out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to try to get out there. Maybe if I can get there on Friday a day early and really pump it up too, and maybe do my Friday show from there. I'm gonna get in touch. I'm gonna try to get out there and meet.
Yeah, let's try to do that. If you can try to plan it for May 3rd.
Yeah,
because I think Gary and Jay are going to come in that Friday, afternoon. You can do
exactly.
Talk to them and interview them and talk. That'd be awesome.
Would love nothing more. And again, that's LazyBearRanch.com. Tim Wrightman, we love bringing him on. A member of the 85 Bears, was the tight end on that team, and he's not far from us right now in Weiser, Idaho, doing a really good job. Before I get you out of here, Tim, I just want to get one more back to the Bears and that team.
Hey, aren't we going to get my prediction for the game?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll get that right after.
Okay. All right, cool.
And I'm sure there's a lot of reasons, Tim, but what in your opinion is the biggest reason why the Bears didn't become a dynasty? Why you only got the one?
I feel that the next year we were 14-2. The year we won, we were 15-1.
Yeah.
And I feel the biggest reason was, Jim McMahon got hurt. That there was that late hit, and Jim threw an interception in the Packers game. We're walking back to the huddle, and he got picked up and thrown on his shoulder, dislocated his shoulder, and Dick kind of destroyed our backup quarterbacks, Steve Fuller and Mike Tomczak, and he brought in Doug Flutie. Doug Flutie, had a great career, but he wasn't ready for prime time.
Okay.
And I think Dick, looking back, probably should have went with Steve Fuller, who won a lot of games for us, or Mike Tomczak. And I think that was, if McMahon didn't get hurt then, I think we would have won the Super Bowl again the next year. Because we had the nucleus of the defense. We did lose, Wilbur Marshall, who was a big, attribute outside linebacker, but I still think we had the nucleus going 14-2 the year after we won the Super Bowl to go back and repeat.
Yeah, you were the number one seed in '86. Again, it wasn't the Giants who ended up winning that Super Bowl, and they had a great team too, but no question.
Yeah, and then the Redskins beat us in the first playoff game. Flutie,
Darryl Green punt return.
I said, had a great career, just wasn't ready.
Darryl Green punt return, was that game?
Yeah.
That was a tough one. Tim.
Okay, so here we go.
Yeah.
I have never been a Patriots fan, but I am going to root for the Patriots this year. The reason being is that, the NFL teams basically mimic all the other NFL teams. So now that Sean McVay is, the hot guy right now, all the other NFL teams are hiring young coaches that have never had head coaching experience. As I've gotten older, I like to think that experience counts for something. So I'm going to root for the Patriots because they got an old quarterback and an old coach. And you know what? McVay and Goff, they've got their chances coming up again. And I like to see that, somebody think outside the box, that, just because it's new doesn't mean it's the best.
Tim, we love having you on. That's Lazy Bear Ranch.
31, Rams 24.
31-24 Patriots. I'm writing that down right now. So it's going to be a good game, according to you, 31-24.
Yep.
Definitely.
It'll be a good game. They're both talented teams. And we won't put an asterisk by the, Rams, because of the non-call.
You were, Tim, were you a talented actor? Or were you just big and good looking?
I think I had. You know what? I don't know if I was an actor. I just usually went in and played myself, having a great day.
I love it. You guys, if you guys want to get a kick out of this, go to imdb.com and look at Tim Wrightman's acting page. He had some big shows you were on, man.
Hey, the only love scene I got to be in was with Sybil Shepherd, and I know I got the part because she's a tall girl and. I made her look petite. So there you go.
Tim, you're the best, man. I should have you on more, but we love having you on Super Bowl week. You always deliver, and hopefully we can help pump the volume on that Lazy Bear Ranch for folks here in Eastern Oregon. Absolutely.
Stay in touch, Johnny. Football. Love you, man.
Love you too.
Have a great week.
See you later, Tim.
Okay, buddy. Bye.
Tim Wrightman. The guy's awesome, man. Do I say anything else about that? What a great guy. Love bringing him on this show. Ballgame Show Benchies. We'll be back.
It's time now for your local weather forecast. In LeGrand tonight, partly cloudy skies with a low near 23 degrees. For tomorrow, plenty of sunshine throughout the day and a high near 41. In Baker City tonight, partly cloudy skies too, low near 21 degrees. And for tomorrow, mostly sunny conditions with a high near 40. This weather forecast is brought to you by
Grand Ronde Hospital. Our hospice and home care team of experienced clinicians have been providing physical, emotional, spiritual, and bereavement support to families for over 30 years. As the only not-for-profit, state-licensed, and Medicare-certified agency in our county.
I'm here at the year's hottest stag pool party.
Put your antlers up!
Where? Some poor guy's backyard. These stags are bringing down the house. Seriously, deer are ripping holes in the pool cover. They're trampling patio furniture. And all the damage was covered, thanks to Farmers Insurance. Stag Pool Party, October 27th, 2014. Talk to a farmer's agent. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
See your local Farmers Insurance agent, Greg Blackman, in LeGrand.
Super Bowl 53 is set.
Burkhead is in for the touchdown.
The Patriots.
The Rams are going to the Super Bowl.
And the Rams are headed for a showdown in Atlanta.
I'm as excited as I've been in a long time.
We're getting you ready. Leading up to the big game, February 3rd. Don't miss a minute of the action.
It'll be the Rams. It'll be the Patriots. It'll be Super Bowl 53 in Atlanta.
Tune into Super Bowl 53 on Boomer Radio, brought to you in part by Elgin Electric and Benchwarmers Pub and Grill.
MJ Goss Motors Company is proud to be your LeGrand, Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC dealer. With an extensive inventory of new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs, their friendly staff will help you find the perfect vehicle for you. Goss Motors is a full-service dealership which includes 24-hour towing, a body shop, parts, and service. So stop in today and check out the new and pre-owned inventory and ask them about their current offers and factory incentives. MJ Goss Motors in downtown LeGrand. Quick, friendly service since 1922.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care. I ever get back, so let's root for the home team. They don't win, it's a shame. 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
The Johnny Ballgame Show.
All right, Super Week continues. Here we are, hour number 3. Johnny Ballgame Show brought to you by Benchwarmers Pub and Grill. The game is always on at Benchies. Sure, if you were looking for a place to watch the Super Bowl, look no further. But I get it. Super Bowl, it's like Thanksgiving, dude. You watch it at someone's house or you have people over. Look, I've been in the radio biz for, 10 years now. I've tried to do the cool Super Bowl event thing, and I get it. I'm with them. People like to watch the Super Bowl from the friendly confines. They like being on their couch. They like the beer to be cheap. They like the food to be available there. I get it, but let me just say this. Nobody does wings in Eastern Oregon like Benchwarmers Pub and Grill. So if you're going to a party, call in an order of wings in advance at Benchies. Pick those son of us up and take them all the way to your party. Show up. You're not empty-handed. Show up with a couple of things of wings, and you are good to go for your Super Bowl party at Benchwarmers Pub and Grill. Tim Wrightman, he's so choice, right? If you have the means, I highly recommend picking one up. Those guys are wonderful. You know how I met Tim Wrightman? I was on the air with ESPN Radio in Boise, okay, my previous gig before I decided to come back here and take this stinking job back. What the hell was I thinking there? Hagalaga. And he was in the Boise area, obviously getting his ranch off the ground, doing some advertising in Boise. And here we had just at our fingertips this member of the 85 Bears. The 85 Bears are different than any other single team ever. The only one that I can really compare to it, honestly, it's the 72 Dolphins, because they went undefeated. You say 85 Bears, and it just means something. People just kind of stop. Oh, 85 Bears? Oh, okay. I mean, Tim Wrightman, had he played on the Miami Dolphins those years, I'm like, yeah, it'd be critical. Oh, Tim Wrightman, yeah, played with Marino on the 85 Dolphins. It doesn't carry as much weight as the 85 Bears. I mean, that's an all-time team. And I love talking to him, and I've talked to other members of that squad before, too. And I always love the question, why just the one, you know? I mean, you want to talk about a team that could have, should have been a dynasty. I talk about my Seahawks like that, like the dynasty that never was, with this recent Pete Carroll, Russell Wilson Seahawk thing that ended stinking at the goal line in the Super Bowl against the Patriots. Talk about the ultimate kick to the groin in my life. Anywho, the Seahawks got back. They got back to the Super Bowl after winning it, beating Manning 42-8 in Super Bowl 48. They got back. That's what's weird about the Bears. They never got back. They took the whole league over. I think it was just, it was too glitzy. It was too glamorous. Everybody had their own radio show. Everybody wanted their endorsement deals. I just think it got sometimes, honestly, in life, in business, in relationships, things just get too big and they get out of control. And obviously what Tim Wrightman said about, hey, Jim McMahon got hurt, and that's the classic play. What was that guy's name again? Was it George Wilson? Can't remember the name. The Green Bay Packer defensive lineman. It was honestly maybe the dirtiest play in the history of football from like 1985 on. I mean, we saw a lot of other dirty stuff. That was in like the 50s, like Dick Night Train Lane coming over with like a forearm on somebody. But that play on McMahon, the play was over. McMahon's just standing there. Was it George Martin? Is that, no, dang it, I can't remember his name. But he picks up McMahon and just like does a WWE like suplex on him. And he was out for the year. And they were 14-2. And yeah, Mike Ditka signed Doug Flutie from the USFL. And he thought Doug Flutie was better than Steve Fuller and Mike Tomczak. And over time, he was. Doug Flutie didn't mix well with the locker room. Like guys on the team, I've seen the documentaries. It just wasn't a good fit. But I love that question. Why just the one? And never even getting back. That shows you how special that Bears team was, though. They did all that in just that 1 year of 1985. I mean, captured the heart of the NFL. Remember how big William the Refrigerator Perry was? I'm talking figuratively how big the fridge was. Not even literally. And he was literally one of the top 2 or 3 biggest dudes in the league. Figuratively. He had a McDonald's commercial. He had a G.I. Joe character. Remember his G.I. Joe figure? The fridge. You're talking like a backup D tackle that Buddy Ryan didn't even want to pick. They used him on offense because Ditka got ticked off that Buddy didn't use him enough on defense. But don't get me wrong, it's tough to find reps when you got Dan Hampton, Steve McMichael, Richard Dent, among many others on that Bear defensive line. Tough to get reps if you're a fat rookie from Clemson with a bunch of teeth missing. I love the fridge, don't get me wrong. I've seen all the documentaries on the 85 Bears. I've heard McMahon say, oh, he loved him. How do you not love the funny fat guy? McMahon said something like that. He was the funny fat guy. Who doesn't love the funny fat guy? Like, yeah, he's great. Yeah. But, I mean, that's how big that team was. It was a special squad, man, the 85 Bears. Super Bowl week continuing here on the Johnny Ballgame Show. Not the biggest names, but I'm telling you, the best interviews. Tomorrow, we have a defensive back from the Super Bowl 50 winning Denver Broncos, Shiloh Ko. He's an Idaho Vandal, represent just like yours truly. I've known Shiloh a long time. Me and Shiloh went to college together, and believe it or not, we hosted our own radio show on the student station at the University of Idaho. Shiloh was the best player on the football team, and I was thinking, okay, I want to find someone who I think will be in the NFL, and I want to do a show with them. And so that's basically what I did. I went up to Shiloh, introduced myself, said, hey, dude, I got a sports talk radio show. Are you interested in ever getting in the media after your career is over? And he said, yes. I was like, well, dude, let's do a show together. We'll record it. You got stuff on tape. So we did. And sure enough, later, 10 years later, I'm still cool with the dude. And he comes on my show every year and talks about winning a Super Bowl. the cool aspect that Shiloh will bring to his interview tomorrow, I'll tell you this. He played for Wade Phillips with the Houston Texans and the Denver Broncos, okay? So who's the defensive coordinator for the Rams? Who's had all the success against Brady, if there's such a thing as that? Oh, yeah, it's Wade Phillips. He beat Tom Brady in, 2 AFC championship games? Wade Phillips? Wasn't he 2-1 against Brady as a coordinator? Well, Wade Phillips is coordinating the Rams. So Shiloh's going to have a terrific perspective of, hey, this is not the first time Wade Phillips has faced a Belichickian game plan in a huge game. Sorry, it's not. So we'll see what old Uncle Wade has. And as good as some of the players Uncle Wade has had, J.J. Watt, Von Miller, just to name a couple, he's got Aaron Donald now. So tomorrow's guest, he's got a ring on his finger, Super Bowl 50 champion with the Denver Broncos, Shiloh Ko. He was an offensive back on that team, so he's going to come on tomorrow. Still trying to book some of my other guys. 2,000 Baltimore Ravens that might have been, other than the 85 Bears, right there, the best defense of all time. How about starting cornerback? He had a pick 6 in the Super Bowl, Ravens over the Giants. Dwayne Starks, first-round draft pick from the University of Miami. Going to try to book him on the program as well. So Super Bowl week, going to have a lot of fun with it. Going to get in touch with a couple other ex-players as well. So we're going to have fun this week. I can't wait, man. I love Super Week. Whether you love the matchup or not, and most people, I'm sorry, they don't. I mean, let's just be honest here. There are 31 fan bases out there that are sick and tired of the Patriots. 31 fan bases. And I know everybody right now is thinking the Patriots will win. That's at least kind of what I've seen around the water cooler. Most of the folks thinking the Patriots will win. Well, dude, last year it was more so of that. Remember this time last year? It's Tom Brady against Nick Foles. Remember that? Nobody thought the Eagles were going to win that game. And they did. A couple of those years where the Patriots were playing the Giants, nobody thought Eli and the Giants were going to win those games, especially in 2007 when the Patriots went in 18-0. The Patriots have been mega favorites before in Super Bowls, and that doesn't always end up being how the game is played. Telling you. A lot of surprises in the Super Bowl, so I'm pumped for it. By the way, our sister station right across the hallway from me, Boomer Radio, we will air the Super Bowl exclusively from Westwood 1. Our coverage begins at 11 a.m. If you have a business and you want your commercial aired during the Super Bowl, we have great Super Bowl rates, I'm telling you. Email me, get in touch. We'll put your business's commercial on during the Super Bowl broadcast. So I know a lot of people are driving on that day. They're going to the party. They're going to the store. They're out in their shop working on their rig. Super Bowl on Boomer Radio. You will have that for you. We'll take your emails and text messages. All text messages courtesy thank you of the Northwest Furniture and Mattress text line. You want a recliner for the Super Bowl? You bet your damn Skippy you do. You get to Northwest Furniture and Mattress. Best selection of recliners I've ever stinking seen. Got the big red rocking chair on the roof, too. We're moving along. We got a lot of good stuff. Tom Brady says there is no chance he's retiring. You know who's grumpy on that? 31 other fan bases. Let's play some Who's Grumpy next. We'll be back. Ballgame Show Benchies.
Hey, it's winter, which means you can sit around and wait for spring or get a new Toyota 4 or all-wheel drive and get out and go. No matter if it's skiing, tubing, breaking out the snowmobiles, a great road trip, or just a drive across town, with a Toyota 4 or all-wheel drive, it's sure to be easier. Add the fact that nearly every Toyota model now features Toyota Safety Sense, a complete suite of driver-assisted technology at no extra cost. Choose the all-new 2019 RAV4, a Toyota Highlander, 4Runner, Sequoia, Land Cruiser, Sienna van, or Tacoma and Tundra trucks, all with limited time savings options, including as much as $3,500 in cash back, financing as low as 0%, or special low payment leases. It's time to get out and go. Your adventure starts at your local Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. All financing and approved credit through Toyota Financial Services. All vehicles subject to prior sale. All prices plus tax and title dealer doc fees vary by dealer. For more details, call 1-888-21-TOYOTA. Offers end 2419.
Kurt's RV Service and Repair always has you covered, especially during this cold Eastern Oregon weather. Right now is the best time of the year to minimize the cost of repairs on your RV or trailer by coming in for a routine winterization. you still have plenty of time to get this done and make sure your RV is ready to go for your next big trip. Kurt's RV Service and Repair, located on Buchanan Lane in Island City, gives you quality service at a fair price. And no job is too big or too small. Kurt's RV Service and Repair.
Life changes, then it changes again. Predicting the unexpected in life is impossible. That's why it's called Unexpected. So when it comes to your financial goals, our philosophy is don't predict, prepare. I'm Edward Jones financial advisor Mary Horn. A job loss, change in health, or a loss of a loved one can have a big impact on your family's financial security. Let's work together to help make sure you're equipped for life's unexpected events. Stop by our branch next to Starbucks on Island Avenue for a face-to-face appointment. Edward Jones, Making Sense of Investing. Member SIPC.
The current Northeast Oregon road conditions are as follows. On I-84, there are no road closures to report at this time. Clear roads are being reported in the Meacham and Cabbage Hill area, as well as the Ladd Canyon and Baker City areas, too. There is a minimum chain restriction in effect, though. You are required to carry chains or traction tires regardless of current conditions. For more road condition updates, stay tuned throughout the day or visit tripcheck.com.
Since the day I stopped drinking, my life has gotten better and better. I can't take any credit for it. It just seems that without alcohol, I think better, I'm more careful with money, I watch what I say, I don't get into trouble like I did when I was drinking. It's scary trying to walk through life alone, and today I have that very distinct feeling that I don't ever have to be alone again. Alcoholics Anonymous. It works. Look us up. Check your phone book, newspaper, or AA.org.
All right, Ballgame show, Benchwarmers Pub and Grill. A quick public service announcement. This is a favor I'm doing for my boss man, Travis. The LeGrand Community Blood Drive held tomorrow from noon to 6 p.m. at the LDS Church Gym on Geckler. For an appointment or more info, call Linda. 963-4261. Walk-ins are welcome. Yes, the Grand Community Blood Drive tomorrow. LDS Church on Geckler from noon to 6. You're welcome, Travis. Gosh, I heard Tom Brady, an interview with some gentleman for ESPN. I'm sorry I can't remember who the gentleman was, but there was a question where he asked, Tom Brady, what's the chance you're retiring if you win this thing? It's your 9th Super Bowl. And the scary thing is, if I had to put money on will Tom Brady play in 10 Super Bowls, I would say yes a lot quicker than I would say no. But the interview, and you'll probably see it's going to air all week, they asked Brady, what's the chance you'll hang him up if you win? And he said, none. No chance. No chance he's going to retire. And for that, 31 NFL fan bases can clearly turn grumpy. Let's get into it every Monday. Who's Grumpy? Brought to you by Grumpy's Repair in Baker City. Who's Grumpy on a Monday? Brought to you by Grumpy's Repair. Yeah, 31 NFL fan bases are grumpy when they hear that news, right? Is it bad for the league? Oh, heck no. Are you kidding me? The greatest player in the history of the sport, and that narrative will not change in any of our lifetime, in my opinion. There's not a quarterback playing right now, not even the Patrick Mahomes or the young Jared Goff or Baker Mayfield, these young guns coming into this league. None of these guys are going to get to 10 or 11 Super Bowls. None of these guys are going to win the games that Brady's won. None of these guys are going to get to, spend an entire decade of conference championship appearances. It will never happen again. So it's funny I think about this, and let's be honest. Most football fans, you want Brady gone. Like, if you could sell your soul to the devil and say, hey, dude, I will root for the Patriots to win if I'm guaranteed Tom Brady will retire after the victory. Honestly, I think a lot of football fans would say, okay, I'll sign off on that right now. If you promise me Brady will retire, Brady's gonna hang him up, I'll root for him. And it's funny that, yeah, everybody wants this guy gone. Everybody wants Bill Belichick gone. They're the best to ever do it. Like, and I wasn't, I don't remember Muhammad Ali's last fight. Is that how you were with the greatest? Did you not want Muhammad to keep fighting? Did you want him to go away because you were tired of him being so good? Did everybody want Babe Ruth to retire because he was just too good for too long? We don't want you anymore. Retire, Bambino. Make like a tree and get out of here. Is that what we wanted with him? I mean, I don't remember people cheering for Wayne Gretzky to retire. I don't remember that. I thought people wanted to preserve the great one. They wanted Wayne to keep playing. They didn't want him to go. I remember when Wayne Gretzky at the end was farting around with the St. Louis Blues. So you want to see a weird jersey for hockey geeks. Wayne Gretzky playing for St. Louis? Just one of those weird things, like when Franco Harris was a Seahawk in 1984. Like, it just didn't look right. Franco, a Seahawk? But people wanted the players to stay on. They didn't want to let them go. They wanted to hold on to greatness, hoping they can get some of it back. I mean, look at the community for Tiger Woods in golf right now. You kidding me? By the way, he had a pretty good run this week, didn't Tiger? Was he 10 under? In his first tournament of the year? I was talking to the country club pro, my boy Dana London over there at LGCC. He's going on record. I talked to him last week. He said, Ballgame. Tiger will win 2 majors this year. Book it, Dano. 2. 2, Utah. Give me 2. And I'm thinking, geez, Tiger hasn't won 1 major since 2008. I mean, it's been over a decade now that Tiger Woods has won a major golf tournament. That's just crazy to think about, man. Makes me stoned just trying to go there. But no, my boy at LGCC, the club pro, Dana London, shout out. He thinks he's going to win 2 this year. 2, Utah. 2. But no. Brought to you by Grumpy's Repair in Baker City, just on H Street, off I-84. All types of vehicles. I'm talking dependability and safety. That's paramount at Grumpy's. Since 2004, the highest quality of professional repair service available is with my boy JR and the all-star team at Grumpy's Repair. You have to be certified to even work for JR. So that's who's grumpy on a Monday. 31 NFL fan bases, when they hear the news of Tom Brady, say it straight out of his mouth, 0 chance I will retire following this Super Bowl. And again, I just question it, but I know the landscape we all live in now with sports. People get sick and tired of you these days, where before they didn't. You know, people were not telling Babe Ruth not to let the door hit him in the ass on the way out. You know? And people are with Brady. They don't want, if you polled NFL fans, if you just did a mega poll, do you want Tom Brady to retire after this Super Bowl? I think it would be it would be like trying to think of a massive blowout. You know, Obama versus McCain in the election, something like that. Like, it would be massive. I think it would be like 85% saying yes, Brady retire. 15% saying no. I mean, it would be a mega blowout. Though that election was over in 10 minutes, I remember, in 2008. And I like McCain, stand-up guy. I'm a big John McCain fan. He got smoked in that election, dude. Smoked. But I think it would be kind of like that, unfortunately. People want Brady out. They are sick and tired of this Patriot dynasty thing. They absolutely are. It's crazy. That's who's grumpy on a Monday. Tom Brady. No, he'll be back next year. So the 31 other fan bases, not named New England, yeah, you can be grumpy on a Monday. Grumpy's Repair. Love you guys. Ball game show. Let's keep this going.
It's time now for your local weather forecast. In LeGrand tonight, partly cloudy skies with a low near 23 degrees. For tomorrow, plenty of sunshine throughout the day and a high near 41. In Baker City tonight, partly cloudy skies too, low near 21 degrees. And for tomorrow, mostly sunny conditions with a high near 40. This weather forecast is brought to you by
Self-Service Furniture Warehouse. They have mattresses, huge king-size mattresses starting at just $5.99 with adjustable bases and pillow top options for the ultimate comfort. Great prices, selection, and variety. Shop at Self-Service Furniture Warehouse, east end of Adams in LeGrand.
Winter. It's here for now, and being ready is a good idea. Your local Ace Hardware is your severe winter weather headquarters. Here to help and equip you for anything that Old Man Winter throws your way. Ice melt, tube sand, snow shovels, roof rakes, Toro and Craftsman snowblowers, lock de-icers, snow cleats, windshield wash, and ice scrapers for the car. You'll need it, and Ace has it. Faucet covers, heat cables, and more. Weatherize for winter now at Ace to save time and money. Only at Thatcher's Ace Hardware in Baker City and LeGrand Ace Hardware.
Hungry for lunch? Maybe some dinner? Make Benchwarmers Pub & Grill the home for your next mouth-watering meal. They have every type of burger you can imagine, and their sandwich selection rivals anywhere in Eastern Oregon. My favorite's the Reuben. Benchwarmers also has tasty gyros and all kinds of baskets. Steak fingers, shrimp, chicken strips, halibut, and clams. Delish. Head to Benchwarmers for lunch or dinner, enjoy a cold beverage, and watch the game. Benchwarmers Pub & Grill.
Baker City, it's Paul's Transmission and Repair for pride in workmanship and only quality parts for repairs and maintenance. Because you rely on your vehicle, the prompt ASE certified team at Paul's Transmission and Repair stand behind their work. Everything from electronic fuel injection, tune-ups, oil changes, repairs, and of course, transmission. Paul delivers confidence as a proud affiliate of the Automatic Transmission Rebuilders Association. For repairs and maintenance, count on family-owned and operated Paul's Transmission and Repair.
LeGrand Stereo and Music is your local independent music store. They have everything from musical instruments to microphones, car audio, home audio, and video. And for over 30 years, LeGrand Stereo and Music has been servicing this community and taking pride in putting that guitar in a young, aspiring musician's hands. LeGrand Stereo and Music is a 100% local business. They buy Girl Scout cookies, sponsor Little League, and pay taxes in our community. So support your local independent music store. LeGrand Stereo and Music, where it's still about the music.
Attention, Rip City. The Portland Trail Blazers are once again contending for a playoff spot in the Western Conference. Follow your favorite team every game on Super Talk Radio, 1450 AM in LeGrand and 1490 in Baker City. Stop missing the action and come pick up a free Blazers pocket schedule at Pacific Empire Radio in LeGrand on Cove Avenue. Trailblazers basketball on Super Talk Radio is brought to you in part by Kurt's RV Service and Repair, Rockin' Sons Tire and Auto, and Cricket Wireless.
Hey sports fans, this is Ronald Bond, sports editor at the LeGrand Observer, reminding you to tune in every Wednesday at 5:35 p.m. It's the local sports report on the Johnny Ballgame Show with Observer sports editor Ronald Bond. We dig into EOU and high school sports, football, basketball, baseball, wrestling, track. You name it, we cover it. Wednesdays, 5:35 p.m. on the Johnny Ballgame Show. You don't want to miss it.
Duke fans, just cut it out, man.
But today, I'm the greatest of all time. Thank you.
Ball game show, bench warmers, pub and grill. This has been an awesome Monday. You know, some days, I don't know what you do, but I'm sure when you do it well, you leave that day knowing you did things well. I'm sure, wherever it is you do. Like, that was a good day. Like, I was on that day. I would say that today with this show. You know how many shows I've done? I don't even know. I've never even thought about this, but, you know, I've been on the air on a full-time basis, like 5 days a week, 6 days a week. since May of 2010, okay? 5 days a week. I mean, damn, that's a lot. I mean, I've spent a lot of hours on the air. I've been on the air. I mean, think about that. My very first show when this was a full-time gig was May 2010. So it's almost a decade, but I've been on the air, I mean, thousands of hours. That's hard to believe. But I know the difference between a good show, a poor show, straight up, needs to be flushed down the toilet show. This is a good show today. Good show. Appreciate everybody for being a part of it. Kurt's RV Service and Repair, quality service, fair price. You take whatever the issue is to Kurt's RV Service and Repair for Linda Loop and Island City. Let's hit up the Farmers Insurance hotline, take some calls today. Haven't had a chance to take too many so far, so let's get some in now. Appreciate you guys on the line, Farmers Insurance hotline. Hey, caller, what you know? What do you know? What do you say?
Hey, man, I just want to say we're going to be talking to our grandkids someday, and we get to watch the greatest. You know, they'll be asking, hey, Papa, you used to watch Tom Brady play. Like, I've asked my uncle about, like, Mickey Mantle and all those guys. People need to realize we are watching a Babe Ruth-like team, player, coach, combo, whatever you want to call it.
You know?
And it's historic, man.
Dude,
and
well,
I know
well
everyone
said.
loves to hate. I quit hating about 3 years ago.
Well said. Yeah, well said. Like, yeah, why do we want to push Tom Brady out? Oh, yeah, because he's not on our team and he gets in the way, I guess. But good point. You know, like what the heck, man? Why are we pushing this thing away? I mean, I was watching the 1998 NBA Finals. Okay, it was the Bulls versus the Jazz. Okay, it was the NBA on NBC. Bob Costas was on the call. Okay, and Michael Jordan's at the free throw line, and I never forgot this. But Bob Costas said, you know, I hope everybody realizes what we're watching right now. This was Michael Jordan, 1998. I mean, you're talking like the peak of his powers when he had that shot where he pushed off on Russell, that game, okay? And Bob Costas said, this is honestly like watching Babe Ruth, and you're going to be able to live to tell about it. Not just for our generation, let's say Generation X, you and I. You know, we had Michael. Now we have Brady. We obviously share Brady with the millennials too. He's kind of their guy, but you're absolutely right. If I'm able to live to be 88 years old and still know what I'm doing with myself and to be able to answer like, you're talking about these new kids coming up now. You guys never saw Brady. You never saw Jordan. Get the hell away from me. We are pretty fortunate in that regard. Well said.
And we're watching LeBron. You know, it's like we've been lucky. I'll throw Gretzky in there, Montana. You know, I think we got lucky with NFL quarterbacks just right there. But, you know, and what Brady's doing to, you know, it's impressive. And I understand people hating him.
Yeah.
But I've come to argue, why do you hate him? And they're like, oh, I just don't like him. I go, no, you hate him because he's the best.
Yeah, and he's taken something away from pretty much 31 other fan bases. I know as a Seahawks fan, I mean, yeah, Pete Carroll had a lot to contribute to taking that Super Bowl away, but hey, the Seahawks were up 10 points going into the fourth quarter of that Super Bowl. Tom Brady had 2 80-yard touchdown drives. Gosh darn him. He's the best we've ever seen. We'll never see anything like this, and yet we can't wait to get him the hell out stage left. It's hilarious, man, but that's the culture today. Everybody sucks. Everybody just looks at what you can't do, and they chop you down. Nobody's impressed anymore. It's hilarious. What anybody does, nothing's impressive.
You might not believe this, but I actually would love to see a Packers-Brady Super Bowl. I want to see what they could do against him.
Okay.
I mean,
you're saying a Packers-Patriots Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I said Packers-Brady, but you know what I meant.
Who's your favorite? Yeah. Wait, real quick. You said you want to see a Packers-Patriots Super Bowl. Who's your favorite team again?
The Packers.
Who's your favorite team?
Packers.
Oh my God, Becky.
Yeah, okay, yeah, says the Packer fan. Well, you know what? A Viking fan wants to see the Vikings versus the Patriots, right? A Bears fan.
We all want to see it, but we want to be the team that say, hey, not only did the Giants do it a couple times, we did it once too.
All right, caller, before I get you out of here, give me a percentage. Let's fast forward 365 days. We're here again talking about Super Bowl 54 next year. Give me a percentage that the Patriots are in that one too.
I'm going to go 64%.
Dude, I mean, you're not. I don't disagree. I know it's like over 50.
I almost want to go higher.
It's like, yeah, it's certainly over 50. I mean, it's crazy.
Brady's not retiring. Yeah, it's got a great shot.
Yeah, Brady's confirmed it.
In September.
Yeah, Brady says there is no chance I'm retiring after this game. No chance. So, and why would there be? You kidding me? I just unreal. I mean, he went on the road and won the AFC Championship game this year. He's winning road playoff games now, man. He's winning road playoffs.
I'm giving him 83% to make the AFC Championship game next year.
83% chance to make the AFC Championship game. Yep. You're right. Good call, man. Good stuff. Ball Game Show, Benchwarmers Pub and Grill. Lines open on the Farmers Insurance Hotline, 541-963-4122. Speak now or forever hold it. I got Ace Hardware Finale still to get to. We still got a ton of time left in the show. I'm not trying to push you out. I do want to talk former Seattle Supersonic owner Howard Schultz is trying to put together some Yahoo presidential campaign, and now he's saying how sorry he was for selling the Sonics when he did. And you know what? I'll tell you this. Donald Trump will have more votes in Seattle than Howard Schultz would. And look at the history of DTs in a liberal city like Seattle. No question. Howard Schultz, have fun with that one. But, good stuff on that. Again, we're still taking your calls. Farmers Insurance Hotline, 541-963-4122. Johnny, all the Patriots are wearing short-sleeved hoodies for the coach on the NFL Network. I didn't see that or not, but good for them. I mean, look, I want a close game. No skin in this one. I got no skin in this sucker. I just want a good game. I don't care either way. It's going to be crazy if stinking Tom Brady gets another one. I mean, think about this. Okay. If Brady loses, okay, that'll be 2 in a row that he's lost. And if you throw in that stinking stink bomb that the stinking Falcons stinking laid in stinking Super Bowl 51, Brady in the big game would be a lot different. But to Brady's credit, he's the one that made that comeback. Yes, the Falcons, no question, helped them out a little bit. But think about that. And then, I don't want to go back because I don't want to revisit it because I hate kicking myself in the groin, and that's what it feels like every time I bring up Malcolm Butler. It's like I have a pain in my groin. Like, you come kick me there. Malcolm Butler, go away. Think about that, though. You could make an easy case that the Patriots could have lost that game, right? Just give the ball to Beast Mode. I don't stop talking. Stop talking. And then 2 years later, you fast forward, or 3 years later, you fast forward. Or no, just 2 years later, you fast forward, and the Falcons were up with, 7 minutes left in the third quarter? They're up 28-3. Lost that one. And then last year, they lost to the Eagles. Crazy. I mean, they as dominating as the Patriots are, and they deserve it all. It is the best dynasty I have ever seen in my sports-loving life. I'm sorry, Bulls geek. Belichick Brady tops Michael and Scotty. Even though Michael and Scotty have more rings in fewer time, I think the longevity of what the Patriots have done to me makes it better. They're going on 20 years, dude. I don't like them either. But to me, that's a better score. That's more impressive. Look, Michael did not have to leave after the 98 season. They got into a lot of stinking drama between Jerry Krause, the GM, and Phil, the head coach, and everybody wanted to get paid. Scottie Pippen went to Houston where he got the Megaplex offer. Michael retired. They could have kept that going. I wish they would have. You kidding me? Here's the other thing. How many people out there were hoping Michael Jordan would retire? I don't remember any of them. First off, everybody loved MJ. Everybody loved Jordan. Like, we want Brady to retire. I hear it all the time. Get out of here. We don't want you anymore. That was not the narrative for Jordan. People didn't want Jordan to retire. He's the best we'd all ever seen. Like, I don't want Daniel Day-Lewis to stop acting. Hell no. I don't want Paul McCartney to stop going on tour. Hell no. Right? No, keep going, dude. Keep it up. You're the best. But with Tom Brady, most sports fans don't want him to play anymore. And honestly, for me, it's Brady and Jordan. That's the conversation for Generation X. If you grew up in the 80s and 90s, like, those are the two most accomplished athletes at the professional level you've ever seen. Michael Jordan and Tom Brady. That's the list, dude. I'm not arguing anybody else into that. Not Peyton Manning, no. Peyton Manning went to 4 Super Bowls. He was 2-2. Brady's been to 9. Brady's been to more Super Bowls than Montana and Bradshaw combined. So, for me, the only guy I can compare Brady to is Jordan, and vice versa. Nobody wanted Jordan to quit. Ballgame Show Benchies. By the way, I got to give a shout out to my boy, Chef Wally, one of my favorite people in the world. He's the owner and operator of Fat Guys Fresh Deli in Meridian, Idaho. He will be live in studio with me co-hosting this show on Wednesday. He's bringing Johnny Ballgame Show t-shirts that we're going to give away. And I'm only giving these away to my primo A1 level chuckleheads. So if you think you're an A1 level chucklehead and you want a Johnny Ballgame Show t-shirt and you're going to rep it, then you know what? Email me or text me and I'll get you on the list. But Chef Wally at Fat Guys Fresh Deli in studio co-hosting with me on Wednesday. We're giving away some ball game schwiggity swag. And if you're an A1 level chucklehead, like you call in once a week, once a month, you email, you text. If you're into this show and you can honestly say, hey, ball game, I listen to you about 10 plus hours a week, I'm going to give you a t-shirt. So let me know who you are so I know who I need to give t-shirts to. Ballgame Show Benchies, Ace Hardware Finale. Howard Schultz apologizing for selling the Sonics? Am I going to accept this? Huh?
Tradio. Tune in every Monday through Friday, 7 to 8 a.m. as Cliff Turner hosts Union and Baker County's largest garage sale. Listeners, call and email Cliff with items they have for sale, and he puts their message on the air absolutely free. Tradio is proudly brought to you by My Hearing Centers. Try before you buy, exclusively at My Hearing Centers. Book your free hearing evaluation and free trial today. Call 663-4772. 663-4772.
Have you ever thought about a career in the electric utility industry? Hi, this is Nini with Oregon Trail Electric Cooperative. Each year, OTEC awards 2 $5,000 scholarships to OTEC members and their dependents who want to pursue a career as a lineman. The time to apply for the OTEC scholarship is now. Applications can be found online at otecc.com. The application deadline is February 1st. Oregon Trail Electric Cooperative, putting our energy to work for you.
Blue Mountain Auto Parts, located in downtown LeGrand, is your local Napa Auto Parts dealer. They have the best selection and prices for both power tools and hand tools. And when it comes to your vehicle, Monty and his knowledgeable team will answer all your questions. They've been in this business a long time in this community, and their strong service skills certainly go a long way. When you need an auto part or a truck accessory or professional shop equipment or anything in between, head to Blue Mountain Auto Parts, your local Napa Auto Parts dealer.
The current Northeast Oregon road conditions are as follows. On I-84, there are no road closures to report at this time. Clear roads are being reported in the Meacham and Cabbage Hill area, as well as the Ladd Canyon and Baker City areas, too. There is a minimum chain restriction in effect, though. You are required to carry chains or traction tires regardless of current conditions. For more road condition updates, stay tuned throughout the day or visit tripcheck.com.
Ballgame Show, Bench Warmers Pub and Grill, getting you fired up for the Ace Hardware finale. Yeah, look, the Tom Brady retire now community, there's not going to be someone else that just fills in. I mean, that's surprising. That's like when I see Angela Bassett is 60 years old. Okay, what? Angela Bassett is 60. I'd marry her tonight, and you know what? I bet she could still have a couple of my little babies running around. Yes, at 60. Oh, we'd have a heck of a run. Me and Angela, bring it. Yeah, Angela Bassett's 60. Tom Brady's 41. They're both at the top of their game, and they are looking so hot. Let's have some fun with this. Ace Hardware finale on a Monday. Ace is the helpful place. I got Thatcher's, Ace Hardware in Baker City, and good old Ace Hardware in LeGrand. They carry all the brands you know and you trust. Don't forget they have a full selection of fishing rods, reels, and tackle. If you're headed to the outdoors to do anything, and I know a lot of my listeners are, first, head to Ace Hardware and check out their sporting goods section. That's Thatcher's Ace Hardware in Baker City and Ace Hardware in LeGrand. Appreciate you guys for shopping at the businesses that support this show. I'm telling you, when I need to renew contracts or talk to these folks and say, hey, we want to keep this thing going, I need you guys to go there. And then we can keep the ball game show going and it'll be fun, but you got to shop at these places, right? You got to, man. I need ya. Ball game show benchies. Howard Schultz apparently is sorry now for selling the Seattle Supersonics. And I thought it was hilarious. And he did a whole piece on CBS this week about, oh my gosh, the what ifs, and I never saw him. And just like Seattle fans don't want to hear it. Now, Howard Schultz is trying to run for president. He's going to do the third-party thing, I believe. If you don't know who Howard Schultz is, he was the first mega CEO of Starbucks. Okay, he was Starbucks. And who supported Starbucks more than anybody? The Pacific Northwest, Seattle mainly, okay? Coffee in Portland and Seattle is done better, I'm sorry, than any other place in this country. It is. You want to have the best coffee experience? Well, if you're in Portland or Seattle, good for you. And it extends all the way throughout the Northwest, like my friendly folks at Joe Beans in Adams Avenue. They have tremendous coffee, locally roasted beans from Somerville. And we just, in the Northwest, we do coffee well. And Howard Schultz did Starbucks. He took coffee to, honestly, like a McDonald's level of big. In some cases, bigger. Like, I've been, obviously I'm from Seattle. There's certain shopping centers in Seattle, and a lot of them, okay, where there's a Starbucks on both ends of the shopping center, okay, and there's a grocery store in the middle, and there's a Starbucks there, too. There's like 3 Starbucks in a 600-yard radius, and that's all over Seattle. That was built there. And then Howard Schultz sells the Sonics to a dude he knew, and I'll never believe it any other way, he knew Clay Bennett wanted to move that team, and he did. And you're not going to be forgiven, at least not yet. It's too soon. We don't have a team back. Get us a team back, then maybe we're forgiven. Ball game show benchies. Hey, I love you. I'll see you tomorrow. That's all I got. Love it.
Eastern Oregon's home for news, talk, weather, and sports. This is KLBM LeGrand and KBKR Baker City. Super Talk Radio.
Government
the talk
closure,
of Eastern
U.S.
Oregon.
charges. I'm Ann Cates. Federal employees